This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Red hot comic book movie news, shooting up your butthole. The Weekly Planet, the Weekly Planet.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly Planet, where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday. With me, as always, is my co-host Nick Mason.
We're back, baby.
My headphones aren't plugged in. I was wondering why I couldn't hear.
It's embarrassing
properly.
for you. Are you sure we got that last bit? You sure we got all that gold?
I don't know. Who cares?
Are you sure we didn't
I'll
get that?
edit in
Are you
another
sure we didn't get
intro?
that gold where I didn't really have anything to say, so I just went, we're back, baby? I didn't have any personal notes or stories to open with, so
Don't
I just
you
went.
normally only do that when there's been like an extended break, or you feel like there's been an extended break?
Kind of feels like it has been an extended break.
Now you're just using it as a crutch, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to 5 days. Oh, we've been away so long.
It has been a long time. But I tell you what, it hasn't been a long time since, Mason.
Yes.
Aquaman, the movie.
Feels like it's been a long time since Aquaman.
December. And now it's February. It hasn't been that long. What am I doing?
Who's this guy?
It's a surprise to me.
Oh, okay, right.
I don't know what it is.
He's a character who's very...
Look, I've been a bit grim, all right? What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Yeah. But,
Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, sure, yeah. I have 10 gallstones in me.
See, that's a fun personal story, and it's fun because it's not happening to me.
It's just a bag of rocks that apparently been in my body for a decade.
Yeah, right.
If anyone's had it before,
Uh-huh.
it's just you get a pain that's very intense and
Yeah.
lasts a few hours and then it goes away. And nobody was able to tell me what it was. They're like, you probably just, I don't know.
That's a fire starting in your body from the gallstones clacking together and
Clacking
causing
together.
sparks.
The biggest ones are 2 centimeters across.
That seems too big.
I'm like, is that big? And he's like, it's moderate. And I'm like, that seems big. That's
Yeah.
a rock. You can break a window with that.
And he's like, well, it's okay. You'll be fine. We're going to be with you as you pee them out.
I'm going to have my gallbladder out at some point. I'll be fine. Who fucking cares? I don't.
Anyway, we're going to do it live on the show. We're going to do it on Twitch.
That's
It's
right.
going to be great.
Oh, good Lord.
Can you do, you may or may not know this, can you get a gallbladder out with a local anesthetic?
I don't think so.
Because if you can, we're getting in there. You're going to be up. We're going to talk about...
Can you hold the mic to me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, I'll
Yeah.
bring a stand in.
Okay.
We'll spray it down with
We'll do it properly.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put some antimicrobial shirts over the top of the
Right,
mic
yeah.
stand so it can't be infected. And then we'll do a special episode where we talk about the best surgical scenes in movies
So good.
while you get your gallbladder
Talk
out.
about that one from Alien.
Yep.
The Prometheus, where she said that's the only good part of that movie, maybe.
Yep, uh-huh. Yeah,
There's other
yeah.
good things, probably.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, it's a day surgery or whatever. I'll be fine. Yeah. What's the worst that happens? I die and I leave my family with nothing and just a gaping hole where I used to be, both emotionally and physically.
Now, the worst thing that had happened is I'm watching it on Twitch. And
Wait, you're not there?
No, I'm on Twitch and I'm the only one watching, so I can't switch it off. You know, because otherwise you're just getting your gallbladder out to an empty Twitch stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be embarrassing for
That
you
would
and
be
me.
embarrassing, yeah.
I'd have to pretend I just come back to it every 5 minutes and give you a thumbs up.
So, Aquaman is getting a spin-off. The Trench.
Oh, the trench. Okay.
That's a good element of that.
Was it a good element though?
It was short.
I mean, the biggest question I feel the trench brought up was why haven't the tens of thousands of ravenous piranha mer creatures just overrun the earth?
Because something about ocean depths.
Maybe.
And light.
They could just go to places when it's nighttime.
Maybe Nicole Kidman was keeping them in check.
That's true. Maybe they're not amphibious.
Yeah.
That would
that's
probably
true.
do it.
Well, they evolved from Atlanteans, and some
Yes.
Atlanteans can't
That's true.
break the surface. That being said, they did break the surface.
They
and
did
were
break
on
the
that
surface of
boat.
some time.
Yeah, maybe it's something to do with the temperature of the water. I don't know.
Okay, well, all these questions will be
Yeah.
answered in The Trench, the movie no one asked for.
And featuring no main characters at least, from the Aquaman movie. I think they said
Oh,
something.
what if Julie Andrews is back, though?
Oh, Julie's a big monster.
Yeah, it's going to be her show.
I'm
This
still
is gonna be
confused in Aquaman. Did they go through a portal, or was it some kind of underwater funnel that they went into?
I think it was
got
an
them into the
underwater
center of the
funnel. I
earth?
think we're just not supposed to think about the distances were involved.
Yes.
Like, I think
How
we're
the
just...
ocean is vast.
Yeah, I
and-
think we're supposed to just go, okay, well, the ocean is vast, but they went down really deep, and they've got fast swimming powers, so they got to the center of the earth. I don't think we're supposed to go, that would have taken months, or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I've
look.
seen The Core, the movie
Yeah.
The Core with Hilary Swank. Took quite a long time. You've seen The Core?
No,
You should check it out. No, you don't need to.
thank you.
Do you like disaster movies?
Sometimes.
It's probably not a good one.
Okay then.
Even for those. Actually, no, I think I like it better than a lot of those.
I do like little submarine movies.
Well, there you go. It's
Yeah.
more like one of those things that Shredder used to get to the Technodrome. It's more like one of those things.
Oh,
What were
okay.
those called? Spirally diarrhys.
Yeah, spirally diarrhys.
Good,
yeah.
excellent. Anyway, I think they seem to have got this idea from James Wan has done spin-off, like Annabelle does a spin-off of The Conjuring or
Wait,
the
is
other
this
one.
is this
I don't
their
know.
Hobbs and Shaw?
Potentially,
of the
yeah.
DC universe.
Well, I think they've gone, hey, people liked this.
I noticed that weird piranha cannibal man didn't get along with that weird piranha cannibal man. So what if they teamed up as a buddy movie? In the trench.
In the trench.
Boy, it sure is tough patrolling the beat of the trench. Us two cannibalistic merman cops. I don't get along with you and you don't get along with me. But let's eat this man.
And let's see
off
what
a boat.
Julie Andrews has got to say. Yeah.
I'm the chief and you're off the case to...
You're off the trench.
You're up to get out of the trench. Hand over your big knife and your big fork and your trident. Hand them in.
Yeah, so it's writers Noah Gardner and Aidan Fitzgerald, who I forgot to look up what they have done, but I'm sure they've done wonderful work. I think this stems from Aquaman is now the most successful DC movie
Yeah,
of
right.
all time. I don't think it's adjusted for inflation. Maybe it is. Yeah, so of course they're going to spin off this one. This is now the linchpin of the universe, Mason.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else could they spin off from it? Like, why this? I guess because it's full of mysteries.
What about people fixing up that villa in Italy that they smashed up?
Oh, that'd
Just
be good.
home
Yeah.
repairs.
That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
Anyway, you excited?
Sort of.
Oh, wow, that's good.
It's an odd. Given that they have so many DC superhero properties, but I guess that hasn't been working out so well for them.
Some more than others. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's weird that they go, you know what we should bring out of the DC universe? Piranha monsters. I guess. Sure, why not? I do have a thing that I did this week.
Okay.
A couple of weeks ago, I was on Book Cheat. Dave Warnicki's Book Cheat
Warnicki,
with
yeah.
Joel Dusha.
Yeah, I remember.
Teamed up with Joel Dusha again this week.
Double team up.
Because I was on Josh Earl's podcast, Don't You Know Who I Am?
Ah,
That's
very
right,
good.
yeah, which is on the Planet
Did
Broadcasting
people
Network.
end up knowing who you were by the end?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, heaps
Are you
good,
running
heaps
out of
good.
lies to tell for that show?
No, I've always got more lies.
You've always got
yeah.
more lies. Lies upon lies.
Yeah, I was on with comedians Laura Dunneman and Michael Williams, who were very
What
funny.
a team!
What a team!
It's a
I had
Duck
a good
Blue
old
zone.
time. Yeah, that's right.
That's great.
Good fun. Everybody should listen to that.
Should I listen to it?
Yes.
All right, I'll listen to it then. Sounds like quite the team up of things, Mason.
Agreed.
Do you want to do the next bit of news?
I guess so.
Do you like The Walking Dead? Have you ever seen it? Still.
Again, I've seen the first 5 minutes of the first episode. I said I'll get back to this. I never did.
Good. Danai Gurira, don't know how to pronounce that. She plays Okoye in Black Panther.
Yep.
You know, the bodyguard to the king, and she's like, I'll kill my husband for Black Panthers.
Yep.
I'll do it. I don't
I'll
mind.
do it.
Yeah. She's leaving.
And they're like, we're having lunch. What are you doing? Just chill out. Come on.
She's going to do a handful of episodes in season 10 of The Walking Dead, which has apparently been going for 10 years. I did not know that.
Happy anniversary of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's never been better than season 1.
All right.
But so that's just it. You know, I mean, she's a rising star in a big way.
That's true.
She's very popular on that show, and she's really good in that show. Actually, a lot of people are very good in that mediocre show. But so Andrew Lincoln has left, but he's going to have his own spin-off Rick Grimes adventure movies.
Oh, that's right.
Because there are a couple in that, so maybe they'll team up and live together on an island or whatever. I don't know.
Every time you tell me about The Walking Dead, I'm like, oh, that's fascinating that those two are in that show and they're having a good time.
It's fascinating because it's a good premise with a really great cast.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
good special effects.
Uh-huh.
Great theme song. Apparently it upsets cats if you play it to a cat. So
And it's very forward to the 10-year anniversary gift is somebody inexplicably showing up behind you. Like as a surprise.
a very slow zombie is somehow behind you. Yeah, so look, I haven't been watching this and I will continue not to. But it just goes to show, Mason, all good things must come to an end and all mediocre things must slowly die out over a period of years bleeding viewers.
Oh, speaking of, I believe The Simpsons has just been renewed for seasons 31 and 32.
Great.
Did you see that?
Yeah, it's nearly as old as we are.
Yep. Oh boy.
That started what?
Makes you
That
think.
started in 89 or 88?
Well, subtracting however many seasons are
won't do
currently
it.
out. No,
I
I won't
won't
do it
do
either. Yeah. We could do it, but it'll drag this show to a halt. And it's already, the brakes have already been applied, so.
Yeah, man, I couldn't even... I don't know when it's on.
Do you think it's going to take a turnaround somehow?
At
some point?
I mean, things...
I guess because...
I'm sure it's not all bad.
Yeah,
I'm sure
right.
there's still good episodes.
I'm not going to risk it, though.
Nah.
I would want somebody whose opinion I trust to come to me and say, this is better than it's ever been. It's turned around somehow. I mean, it might get to a point
It's
where...
kind of antiquated, though.
Yeah,
Like,
it might get to a point where the people who were fans of it as children have start writing on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it might
come back
take
out again. That's very
yeah.
possible. Maybe should have stopped for 10 years in the middle to give it like that Doctor Who boost.
Sure, yeah.
But when you've got like F is for Family and Rick and Morty and all these other things, it's kind of, and Family Guy, your favorite.
Absolutely,
all
yeah.
of these, these things riding high, it's kind of like, I don't feel like I need this,
But people must still be watching it.
Mason, we're closer in age to Homer Simpson than Bart Simpson.
Oh, no. How old's Homer supposed to be?
I think it's like 38, 39.
Oh, God.
So that's
Lord.
you, Mason, nearly.
No, nearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. You excited for the Kingsman prequel that you'll see for this show?
I am now, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, why? What do you got? What do you got to spoil me on that?
Aaron Taylor-Johnson is going to be in it.
Oh, yeah, that's
He
right.
was going to star, I think. Daniel Bruhl is in it.
From...
this is a World War One prequel, I should point
Yeah,
out
right.
as well,
From Captain America Civil War.
Correct.
And probably some grim...
The Alienist.
Grim... Oh, yeah, and probably some grim
Inglourious
Norwegian crime
Bastards. Yes.
crime TV shows,
Yeah,
probably.
they find a body in a bridge or in a moat or in a well.
Tree, maybe it's in a tree,
Maybe
yeah.
it's in a tree, yeah. Charles Dance,
Oh.
you might know from...
The Game Is On Award.
The Game is On Award and Game of Thrones and Alien 3. Rise Ephens, who you might know as the Lizard, and Notting Hill,
Yeah, that's right, uh-huh.
and the Replacements.
Yep.
Apparently he's going to be like the Russian hypnotist villain or something.
Okay, sure.
I'll give this another go.
Me too.
Imagine Kingsman tech, but like World War One stuff. Cool, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a horse, but it's got like guns in its legs.
Horse with guns in its legs.
Yeah.
I don't think that horse would run very well. Are they all replaced, all the legs?
Yeah, every leg.
That would just be a stationary horse. A
Look,
stationary
you gotta
sad horse.
if you're gonna make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs or horses in this
Yeah,
case.
if you got to weaponize a horse, you got to break a few horses' legs. So there you go. Do you know who's directing that? Is it Matthew Vaughn?
I could not tell you for $1 billion.
I'd
take a punt for $1 billion.
Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Take a punt.
No, you have to
$1 billion.
give me $1 billion.
Okay, I'll give
and
you.
then I'll guess.
Okay.
Matthew Vaughn? It's not Matthew Vaughn. I'm gonna say it's not Matthew Vaughn.
Okay, I think it is.
Well, regardless, I got that $1 billion. So.
No, he's the producer. Wait, sorry. No, he's the director.
Oh.
Kingsman the Great. I looked at, for some reason, when you go to a lot of IMDb's, like the first thing is producer,
Yes. Right. Okay.
but it should be like, I know producer's very important, probably. I don't know.
They're the boss.
But sometimes.
Sometimes.
But yeah, so, and then it's writer, then director. So there you go.
Cool.
But he's acted in two things. Guess what they are?
Can you give me a clue of any kind?
He's in Direct Effect, the TV series, as X-Men First Class. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And in Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, he plays Yuppie in Car.
Huh. There you go.
So there you go.
All right.
You could have guessed that.
No, I couldn't have. Also, you didn't get. That's not how clues work. Neither of those things were clues.
Mason, a bloody crook is a bloody chook, mate. I don't
Crook is a chook.
can't be.
All right. Look, Mr. Movies. Just wanted to let you know, based on your scans, you're going to be fine, but you won't be able to give clues anymore.
Your crook is a chook.
Also, it's going to burn when you pee, really badly.
Those things are unrelated. That's a kidney thing.
Yeah, I know.
This is more like an abdominal pain.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. But what is both here and now?
Oh, yes.
And there? Child's Play.
Mr. Sunday Movies, your segues are going to be better than ever, but you can't give clues. When one door
take
closes,
that.
another door opens.
Boy,
I hope
does
you're
it.
okay with that.
Yeah. Child's Play is a trailer where instead of being a haunted doll with a ghost trapped in it or whatever those movies were about,
Yes.
it's now
A robot doll,
technology.
high-tech robot
Yeah.
doll.
You saw a very amusing tweet that you told me before the show.
It was something along the lines of, if I was attacked by Chucky the doll, I'd just kick him. Which makes a lot of sense.
Does he
But
have
then-
the strength of an adult
He apparently
man
has the
and then
strength of
some?
an adult man. I think that was.
But even then, he's
that-
quite small.
That was pointed out in the replies, but he's just like, no, I'd kick him though. Like it was just, I think whatever. I'll try and find the tweet, but whatever, it was a masterclass in just being like, I'd just kick, and then people just getting angry at him, like, well, you couldn't because
His haunt is possessed.
People who tried that and it doesn't work, and he's like, no, but I would kick him better, you know. But is this going to be a high-tech doll, or is it going to be a high-tech doll, but it also has a murderer
I think
in
it's
it?
just a high-tech doll. I remember reading the synopsis like a while back.
Okay.
You gotta jazz it up for the kids. Kids
Okay.
aren't interested in a spooky doll. They're interested in a doll that has got the nanotechnologies and the personality of a Fortnite character or something. You know,
I guess
you know what I mean?
that's true, yeah.
That's what they want. They want it
Yeah.
dabbing. They want it doing a little victory shuffle.
Absolutely, they
you know
do.
what I mean?
Yeah. Is it? I guess we won't know until the end. But why is it evil though? AI maybe.
The Switch, like in The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah,
like
good
the
point.
evil
The
crusty
Switch,
doll.
yeah,
Well,
that's-
okay, Small Soldiers, they were just programmed that way. You ever seen that movie?
I've seen Small
It's a bloody
Soldiers.
banger, mate.
It is.
But,
Phil Hartman, R.I.P.
yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Dennis Leary's still alive.
yeah. He's good, isn't he?
I think so.
I don't know anything about him. He did that song, didn't he?
Yep.
God, he was mean, wasn't he?
He was
didn't
real mean.
tolerate certain
Didn't
things.
care what anybody thought about him. Tell you what. Went his own way. That other song, Go Your Own Way, that's about him.
Is it really?
Yeah, Fleetwood Mac song.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. He must have been a very obtuse child.
Yeah, you better believe it.
But did you watch any of these other ones?
I've seen Bride of Chucky, I think.
I've seen bits and pieces. Is that the one at the end where they have a baby?
Yes.
Where they artificially inseminate somebody in it?
The woman who's good at poker. Yes.
Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel somewhat confident in saying that. Who cares? It doesn't matter.
Brad Dourif and Jennifer... Who's the
Yes.
voice? You know what I'm talking
I
about.
know who you're
don't
talking
you?
about. She's
Yeah.
good at poker in real life.
Real life poker champ.
Yes.
I can look it up if you want.
Thank you if you could.
Yeah, that's the one I've seen, but I've seen bits and pieces.
Uh-huh.
Was it? I don't remember this being a particularly scary thing.
No,
as a
I think because
kid.
when by the time that one was
Jennifer
out,
Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly, it had descended into self-parody, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, which is the way of all.
Oh, John Ritter's in Bride of Chucky.
Is he?
R.I.P..
R.I.P. John
Yeah.
Ritter. Jennifer Tilly's still alive.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's already descended into
Poker
parody.
Face. Did you know that song's about her?
Is it really?
Yeah, because she's so good at poker.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That was the perfect time to release that song.
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, all horror franchises descend into self-parody at a certain
Yes.
point.
And then they get a weird reboot.
Except for Saw. I don't think Saw's become a self-parody yet. I saw the most recent one, and I'm like, this is still pretty straight-faced.
Yeah.
Unless because I watched the first one and then the most recent one, so there was about 6 in the middle.
What did
So
you-
they may
what-
have
did you
they
feel
may
like
have they may have descended into self-parody
I
by
don't
about
think-
5,
I don't
and then
think so. It's mostly just the traps.
Yeah.
Did you miss anything?
no,
You
no,
feel?
no.
It was weird seeing Aubrey Plaza in this
Yeah,
as a mum, but she's like 34. So that makes... Because I've been rewatching Parks and Rec,
yeah.
and she's supposed to be like 20 or she is when they came out.
Oh, I
don't
see what
know.
you're saying.
Yeah.
I
and
thought
I'm
you
like,
were saying
she's a mum?
I thought you were saying it's unrealistic for a 34-year-old woman to be a mum.
I would never believe it.
Yeah, I'd be interested to like what's he. We don't even know what his original form is yet, because he grabs the little dungarees outfit, the
Yes.
Super Mario Brothers dungarees outfit, and puts it on. So what's he look like? Because the traditional look of Chucky is he's like this wild-eyed, crazy-haired.
But he didn't start like that.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm
Like
talking about.
because he gets all scarred up or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they've released an official image of what the new one looks like.
Oh.
I think, but it's just a kind of a cleaner cut kind of version of that. Might not even.
Oh,
be
okay,
it.
right.
I
Sure,
don't
sure.
know.
He looks like that Sony robot dog.
I hate all those.
What if he did? What if he looked like that?
Do you like any of those?
No.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be a movie about the terrors of like smart speakers and like having Alexa in your house?
Oh, maybe.
And it's always listening to you? Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
probably going to be an element of that. It's gone too far, etc. They put in military chips like Small Soldiers,
Yeah, exactly.
R.I.P. Dennis Leary. You know, it's just all of those things that we love.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, is it going to be one of those things where I doubt it, but it's not going to be linked to the first one, I assume. Not going to be like we made a child's doll that looks like those movies or whatever. Like,
We
it's like-
released a limited edition version of the murderous doll Chucky, and we built an artificial intelligence chip in it and gave it the strength of a man.
Yeah.
But everything's going to be fine.
But you can just kick it.
Yeah, just kick it if you want.
I think that's so great. Captain Marvel has
Oh,
a
yes.
website.
Oh, it's very 90s
90s
themed. It's
website,
Web
yeah.
1.0, this thing.
I checked it out and I'm like, hate
Yeah.
this. Can't even look at it.
Because it reminded you of the bad old
Reminded
days.
me
of
of the bad
internet.
old days, and it's just the gifs and the spinning and the colours.
Do you
and the
remember
fonts.
when if you didn't know a fact, you had to wait until Monday and go to school and find it in an encyclopedia?
Yes, or ask somebody at school who also didn't know. It
Yeah.
was probably a liar.
Unless it was a pop cultural fact, in which case you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because they don't put that in an encyclopedia, do they?
If you didn't know a song lyric And you
Just
didn't
didn't
have
know.
the you didn't have the
Didn't have the liner
liners.
notes, yeah.
You didn't know.
Wow, yeah.
You just didn't
Had to
know.
rely on your friend.
Do you miss not knowing?
No.
Or do you like knowing?
I hate it. Just imagine if the internet broke.
No, I can't.
Yeah,
and
oof.
I won't deal with it.
Oh.
Quite frankly, yeah.
Oh,
Don't
anyway.
you think there'd be a relief? Do you think they should shut off the internet at any point just for
No.
like a week just to see what happens?
No. No.
Do you think people would go mad? People would probably go mad, right?
Based on a sample size here, 1 of 1, yes. 100% of the people in the world would go mad.
Okay, good.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, Captain Marvel website.
Okay, did you uncut? Are there any secrets to be unearthed in this website?
A little bit. There's bits and pieces. There's like apparently other people on the train might be Skrulls because it's like pick the Skrulls. Or
Oh,
whatever.
I see. Right.
Yeah.
Is there any? Is it like pick the Skrulls and one's Captain America and you click it and it's like he's definitely a Skrull, correct? This website's in canon. Is there anything like that?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I think it's just different people on the train. It's like pick this, but there's no way of knowing. I'm like,
Yeah, right.
So I did the test.
Is there a Samuel L. Jackson gif of some sort?
Yeah, there is. He's like patting a cat or something.
Cool,
But on
nice.
his lower half is
Nice.
moving. Or
Is there
whatever.
any animated fire?
I don't know. There might be a twinkling star.
Nice, that's pretty good
Yeah.
because she's from space.
I could only look at it for like 5 minutes. Not even for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's obviously they've gone. Remember that Space Jam website? They've
Yes,
just
it's
made
an
a version
homage.
of
I
that,
get it. Yeah, cool.
This is good marketing though.
I agree.
I hate bad marketing,
But you like good marketing.
but I love good marketing, and any marketing is good marketing in my opinion.
Yeah, right.
Mason. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
As long as it's telling me to buy a product, that's what I want.
yeah, but I just think it's quite clever,
Mm-hmm.
and it gets people talking, and then websites are like, you'll never believe what Captain Marvel's website is, and whatever.
Is it from the 90s? Okay, you've guessed.
You believe
You
figured
believed it
out.
and you were correct. Okay.
Figured it right out.
All right, and there's probably some secrets to be I bet
Yes.
I bet there's some secrets in the bloody. I bet there's some secrets in the source code or something in the little
Well, there
header.
is. We're doing a video this week. We haven't recorded
Oh,
it
are
yet,
we?
Mason, on some Avengers theories. And there is a secret in the source code which may point to a certain villain. We might save that.
Is there a view counter on the website?
Oh, that's a good. Okay, I'll go back to it.
Is it just CaptainMarvel.com?
No, I think it's.
Is it GeoCities? Did they reopen GeoCities
Oh
for
my
this?
god! Imagine all the sites are like. No, it's Marvel.com/whatever. But the first results are like, you'll never believe what the Captain Marvel website is. Blurb.
Marvel's new Captain Marvel website is a throwback to 90s web design. It's a blast from the past. Great
Okay,
stuff.
I found it.
All right, I'm ready.
There is a twinkling star.
Nice.
There is a jet plane. What was I looking for again?
There's a guest book. Can you sign the guest book
I don't
for
think
me?
they're real. I
Oh,
checked
that's a
that.
shame.
Yeah.
There is a counter.
How many there?
13 million views.
quite a lot.
Current. That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Anyway, I hate this,
Okay.
and I respect it, but I hate it.
But you hate it. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
like you.
Thank you.
I probably just hate. Okay, next thing. Next thing, Mason.
Oh, there's a photo gallery. The only inaccurate thing is they're high-res images. They're not unbelievably pixely ones.
You should leave a message on the message board.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Oh, there is animated fire. This is the best.
Do you wish more websites were like this?
Yes.
Do you really wish that?
No.
Could you imagine if every website was this? There's such clean interfaces nowadays. You don't
Yeah,
need to do
no.
any of this
But
stuff.
I mean, the advantage this has.
Seeing that from here is so upsetting.
I know the advantage that this sort of website has. There's a little top secret animated GIF. Anyway, the point. What I enjoy about this is that it doesn't have. I'm looking at it on my phone and there isn't a billion pop-ups. I haven't opened the website and it's immediately gone, do you want to subscribe?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
I think our website
and then
does
it's like,
that.
this way, yeah, we're different though. We're the bad boys
It's
of podcasting.
genuine.
Yeah, it's genuine, exactly. And then a little thing pops up and it's like, do you accept these cookies? And I'm like, that's
And
fine.
a video plays.
Video plays automatically. I have to click it. Oh, anyway.
I hate video playing automatically. And often I don't know what tab it's in.
Yep,
And
exactly.
sometimes it'll wait 5 minutes and then
Should we
it
add
will
that to
play.
planetbroadcasting.com?
Yeah, definitely.
Just a new tab opens and it starts
Tabs.
playing music.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Great. So these are all good things.
I agree.
Great. Well, let's talk about that Avengers Endgame official image that was released. It just looks like a composite of...
It looks
Images.
fake, but apparently it's real.
Yeah.
It's new costumes.
Yes.
And new looks for a lot of the characters, but it is pasted together so strangely that it looks like it's a Photoshop job.
Yes. I mean,
So-
it is, because everything is.
Everything ultimately is a Photoshop job.
But there were clearly photos taken on different days, and Iron Man was probably... That's just a computer image or whatever. And,
Yeah, for sure.
And they've slapped them all together. I think they all look fine individually, but
Yes.
as a whole,
Uh-huh.
big thumbs down, Mason.
There you go. Wow.
No, actually, I don't really. I'm indifferent. I'm going to see the movie regardless.
Yeah, right. Do you think there are spoilers contained within this?
Well, there's the thing on Black Widow's wrist that might hint to some stuff.
Time travel
we'll talk
machine?
about it. Yeah, we'll talk
Time
about
travel
it in
machine?
that theories video
Okay.
that's coming up. But
Professor Hulk?
well, you've been mentioning that a lot.
I'm not shutting up
and
about
I've
it.
definitely been like, yeah, maybe. Just humouring you, Mason.
Yeah, I know, right? Because he is. Look, we'll talk about it in the video.
But he does look very Bruce Banner.
He's very Bruce Banner. He's the most human-looking version of the Hulk. He doesn't have that Neanderthal look to him. All right.
Like your mum, yeah.
Thank
the
you.
other thing is that
Mr. Sunday Movies, you're going to be very mean towards your friends' mothers for no reason.
that'll be ongoing.
It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
It's apparently the current cut of Endgame is 3 hours.
Okay.
They were talking about an intermission.
Yes.
I love an intermission.
Do you?
It would harken back, Mason, for me personally, when I first saw the first Iron Man in Rome, when I could travel, when I
Yeah.
wasn't saddled with
family.
rocks.
You're with the rocks and family.
With
family,
rock-
the rocks of the
Yeah,
relationship.
with rocks and metaphorical rocks.
Yeah.
In Italy, they stopped and everybody
Oh,
went out.
at what point was there the
It was
intermission?
a halfway point. I can't remember exactly, but I remember thinking
That's important.
this is
Think harder.
I don't remember
Because was it an important narrative point of the movie, or did they just go halfway point? There we
No,
go.
it was like in between a scene.
Okay,
so it
good,
wasn't
right.
like mid sentence.
Okay.
From memory.
And is that customary for all Italian movies?
I don't
wonder?
know. I mean, I assume so, but it's also
It's not that
it's
long.
Not that long. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we went out and. I was very poor because it was, it
Yeah.
was 11 years ago. So I just stood in the foyer and didn't buy
Yeah,
anything.
right.
And then we went back in and finished it.
Is there a little warning chime? Like there a 2-minute warning or something like that when you're supposed to go back? Okay.
They shouted some things in Italian.
Hey!
Hey, come and get a pizza, they said.
Prego!
Yeah, but I was too poor to get a pizza, Mason.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't get one.
Wow.
Though you love a pizza in a cinema, don't you?
Yes.
'Cause you're a monster.
Yes!
Yeah, so...
Oh, imagine I've just had a thought. What if one day I'm rich enough that I could just get pizza for everybody in the cinema? One of the cinema employees comes in with 30 pizzas stacked, 30
30 pizzas.
tiny little stacked up pizzas.
So everyone gets a slice each?
Nobody gets a pizza. I'm assuming
how
I'm
big's
going
this
in.
theatre?
I'm going on a weekday. There's not that many people there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how much are those pizzas?
A lot.
How much are they? $14?
I don't think that. Yeah, I think something like 15 or something like that.
Okay, let's say 14.
Okay.
That's going to cost you $420. You could do that now.
I could do that now, I guess.
I mean, you should, because
I
it's
should.
$420.
It's $420 for people I don't know. And what am I gonna appear
Also,
in the local
I
paper?
wouldn't-
Who cares?
I wouldn't eat a pizza that a stranger bought me.
Really?
No way.
It's not like I'm bringing them in. Somebody else is bringing them
No, I
in.
know, I get it, but I still don't want it.
I just think it's a funny visual.
No, 'cause then-
you have 30 very
Nah.
narrow little pizzas in a stack.
Because then afterwards, because you
Or
or she would be like this local hero.
Yeah.
Would expect people to come up and go, thanks, man, you didn't have to do that or whatever.
Uh-huh.
I'd be like, fuck off, I don't want your pizza.
Wow.
It's very presumptuous of you to think I'm going to eat a pizza.
I'm gluten free.
Yeah,
Listen,
so-
kill me. Why'd you try to murder me with pizza?
Yeah. I reject your gesture. So if you do it,
Mm-hmm.
get 29 pizzas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You're gonna be laughing over the other side of your face when you have a pizza. Wish you had a pizza.
Cinema pizza. Get out of here.
Nah,
they
it's
just
rude.
reheat them.
No, they don't. They make 'em fresh.
Make them fresh. The base is already done.
Well, that's true.
Get out of here. Anyway, apparently the intermission is not true, according to the Russo brothers. They've tested it in some screenings.
Uh-huh.
I spoke to someone at Disney who said that they test them, but they test them in house. So
Yeah.
they don't get the public in.
Uh-huh.
They get like family of people and employees. So
Yeah,
that's
right.
why this stuff never really leaks. Because when they test a Fox film, they're like, it sucks. Everybody hated it. Everybody hates the new X-Men movies. But these ones don't leak.
That's in the press release. This movie sucks. But if you want to watch it, come in for free.
Yeah, so because embargoes, people sign them, but
Yeah.
you can just anonymously go on the internet.
Here's a funny little thing.
Okay.
With the Captain Marvel website.
Oh, here we get over it.
Nah, but look, the Captain Marvel website, when you go to it on your phone, you get a little web address here, and it's annihil.us.
Yes.
Annihilus.
Yes, apparently that's what they use for all their
Marvel
That's
stuff?
the code for all their things, but that may even hint at a
Oh,
larger
might be a
thing.
little hint, eh?
Yeah.
There you go. That's fun. The guest book does work, I think.
I don't think it does because the top one is like all you base belong to us.
All right. Okay.
I
That's
think
good.
it was that yesterday.
All right, okay.
Do you get it?
Yeah, I get things.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad you do. Anyway, they're not doing the intermissions, apparently. Apparently, nobody got up to go to the toilet for the entire thing. As I've mentioned before, when I go and see a movie like this,
Yes.
I don't drink from like midday upwards because I'd have to leave.
Mm.
If it's a movie I don't care about, I'll just leave. I'll just go out.
Sure.
If it's Immortal Engines,
Yeah,
I'll
right.
leave 4 times.
Wow.
So it's fine, yeah. Just to stretch the old legs, you know what I mean?
I know what you're going to get you.
Yeah. So, intermission or none? I mean, they're not doing it, but what would you prefer?
No.
Also, they can get in more sessions if they don't do intermission.
Exactly,
They don't do
yeah.
a 15-minute intermission.
Yeah. I don't want an intermission because then you have to go back into reality.
Yes.
And I don't want that. I don't want the reality of the movie broken in the final film of this. I don't want to be like halfway through the ultimate realization of 10 years worth of 11 years worth of movie making and just be like, hey, what do you reckon's gonna happen? I don't care. I don't want your theories for the last half. Just let it play. James.
Come on, mate. Apparently,
I
also,
could really do with a pizza. Well, you made your choice, didn't you?
probably got 29 pizzas and
That's
they're all
right.
gone. They've also mentioned, the Russo brothers, that they shouldn't have filmed these back-to-back because it's exhausting. Filming 2 3-hour movies, however long they are.
Well, you shouldn't have knocked back the pizzas, the Russo brothers. I offered,
Yeah.
now you're tired and hungry.
I mean, I'm glad they did it this way because we don't have to wait 2 years in between.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, sorry, that's just my son's monitor. He had his tonsils out, everybody. It's a bloody wreck over at the bloody Sunday
really
bloody
is.
household, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But, and Claire's getting her teeth in tomorrow. It's all
Terrific.
happening, mate. It's bloody, there's medical procedures are plenty.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she had to wait until you got your gallstones out.
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, well, she's going to need them. For
For
the
they
teeth.
whittle them down.
Yeah, whittle them down. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gross.
Yeah. And if there's any
Gross.
left, you could carve one in the shape of a sailboat.
Yeah, what do you think, though? Back-to-back is notoriously difficult. Peter Jackson
Yeah.
did it for 3... Did it twice for 2
Yeah.
different trilogies. One to great success, one to moderate success.
Well, let's make it a rule. You can only do it. You should only do it once every 11 years.
That's fair.
Maybe that would work.
Back to the Future 2 and 3 did it.
That's true.
The Matrix 2 and 3 did it.
Boy, there sure is some mixed results, isn't there?
There really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Avatar they're doing all 5 at once. or
Incredible.
something. I think James Cameron maybe mentioned this week. I saw headlines that were like, James Cameron says Avatar is... And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, nah, absolutely
No,
nah.
thank you. But look, it's James Cameron and you never know. Sure, he's endorsed nothing but garbage.
In the last
10 years.
10 years or so, yeah.
But Elite is this week.
It is, yeah.
And look, we've been down on it a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And being like, look, it's probably going to bomb, but it will probably do really well in China.
Yeah.
Regardless.
And also, I don't know about you, but I've rewatched some recent
oh my God.
anime to American live action movies recently.
And they're all really
They're
good.
all bad.
Yes. None are great.
Correct.
Some are tolerable.
Some are atrocious.
Yes. But we'll get back to anime stuff, won't we? And et cetera and so on.
No, I refuse. Anything but that. I've had enough of it.
Have you had enough of it?
Yes.
But have you had enough of this, Mason?
I'm ready to hear about it.
Apparently 3% of Infinity War had no visual effects.
3%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a lot, is it?
So by process of elimination, a lot of it did.
At least half.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
half.
so that's...
Pretty good.
Are you surprised by that?
No.
No, me neither.
Because I mean, movies these days.
I tell you what,
movies
Mason,
these days.
Movies these days and kids these
Yeah.
days.
Exactly, but there's no
Substitute
for.
for loneliness.
Yep, is that a song? It's a song.
There's no aphrodisiac for loneliness.
That's
I think
something
is a
like
song.
that. I guess because in a big blockbuster movie, there's no scene that people won't look at and go, well, we could tweak that.
Yeah.
we could tweak that somehow. We could tweak the lighting. We could tweak
The aspect ratio.
the aspect ratio. We could tweak the amount of perspiration on them. We could tweak that piece of hair. We could tweak
Change
that
the
piece of
lighting.
ham.
Yeah.
We'd tweak anything, you know?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean,
They had to get rid of a lot of ham on the
that
set of
true?
Infinity War, yeah.
why is that?
There was too much ham.
Craft services? Or was that like an early inclusion? They wanted ham in every scene.
Exactly,
And then
yeah.
afterwards they went, this
Yeah,
is too much
yeah,
ham. We want no ham.
Because Thanos was going ham, you know.
Is that true?
Yes, and then they were like, well, we'll just make it a metaphor as opposed to literally, you know.
All of that.
Yeah.
Mason, Pet Cemetery has a trailer because it's the week of 80s horror trailer reboots or whatever, apparently.
It is,
I thought
isn't
there
it?
wasn't
Yeah.
going to be many trailers this week because of Super Bowl.
But there's heaps.
There's at least
heaps
3.
now. Mhm.
Pet Cemetery. Your cat comes back, lures your kid under a truck. That kid comes back, lures you into a fight or something.
Yep.
That's the movie. They've showed us most of the movie.
They kind of have, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They've replicated the scene, I think, which I believe is from the original, where the character who is currently played by John Lithgow gets slashed across the back of the back of the ankles, falls down the stairs.
I have seen it, but I do not remember. Yeah, have you seen?
Maybe
the
that's a
original?
trope that's just been in a lot of movies. I don't know.
I've seen.
I mean, you
some
don't want it
movies.
to happen.
I've
It's
never
the
seen
most
it.
horrifying thing of all.
Yeah, it's in Hostel, I think, as well.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't like that movie.
Yeah, they really have shown us the entire movie. haven't
Yeah, but that's okay because cats are notoriously scary. Everybody knows that.
they? Yep.
There's this cat, right? Sometimes my dog barks at night because I figured out why. Because there's this cat and it just sits outside the window and it just sits, doesn't care, doesn't do anything.
Oh yeah.
It was sitting outside my window and I
Uh-huh.
banged on the window
Uh-huh.
and it didn't even flinch, didn't turn around. So I can't read cats, mate. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Isn't that
yeah.
scary? I don't know. For a cat, apparently not.
Do you think this cat's going to get you?
I don't know. Not before I get it. I could just kick it.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Might have the strength of a full-grown man.
That's true, actually. I won't kick it. So, look, I don't hate cats, is what I'm saying. I just don't understand them. I don't get them. Because I feel like most other animals would at least react. Like turn around.
Sure.
Or flinch.
Yeah.
Or just do anything. Anyway, it might have been a statue of a cat. So,
Yeah. Might have been a picture of a cat you cut out of a magazine and stuck on your window.
but Pet Semetary.
Yes.
Jason Clarke is back. He was John Connor. Now he's this guy.
Yes. That's on the poster as well. He was John Connor, now he's this guy. And there's an arrow pointing at him.
So, I think the original movie, the son dies.
I don't know.
Is that right? I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
Yeah. Also, don't show people the cemetery that brings things back from the dead. Don't. If someone moves into the neighborhood, don't show them the weird death bring back to life cemetery. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, I guess, but I guess my question is,
there nothing else to
having
do?
not seen the original, why don't all the pets come back then?
Maybe they have.
Oh,
I don't know.
don't like that.
We'll do it again for something.
Okay, sure.
Caravan of Garbage
We'll
or
watch
whatever.
it
We'll
and
watch it
find
again.
out the answers
And
to
then we'll
this.
know. Both of us
or
will know.
someone will email in and tell us the answers.
I agree with you on that.
But I mean, it shouldn't be called. I mean, and also what bugs me about it is if this thing's been here for decades,
Yeah.
why has nobody corrected the spelling on the sign? That's
a good point.
Take the sign off, put a new sign on.
I agree with
why
you.
Isn't the local council put a nice printed metal sign up? You know?
Yes, I agree with
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Good lord. We also had a Shaft trailer.
We did have a Shaft
It's
trailer.
a sequel to the originals, but also the Samuel L. Jackson one.
Mm.
This new Shaft, he's not a patch on previous Shaft or
No,
something.
he's a real beta male, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Until he
Real
learns
soy
to
boy.
shoot a gun and please a lady or whatever's happening in this.
I'd imagine that with the older Shaft, the Grandpa Shaft,
Yep.
original Shaft, he's like, you were just like that when you were a kid, Samuel L. Jackson or whatever.
Yeah, right,
And you
right.
learn to Shaft. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I mean?
right. Uh-huh.
It's not something that's in you. You can learn it.
That's right.
Yeah. This looks, I know people are kind of like, this looks shit. I mean, this looks all right.
It's leaning
fine.
towards. It seems to be very self-referential and
Yes.
silly. It's not going to be the 90s or early 2000s grim version.
Yeah.
With Christian Bale as a
Yes.
psychopath and whatever else happened in that movie.
Yes, a lot of racism.
A lot of racism, but there'll be less of that, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever. I like seeing the older two, the last two
Yeah,
versions
right,
of Shaft. I'm not so sure about this new one because we don't know him. I don't recognize him from anything. But hey, the worst that can happen is that it's an okay or bad film,
Yep,
and then there'll be a different film the next week, and we'll barely reference it again.
that's true. That is the worst thing that happened.
Yes, that's right.
Another worst thing, a meteorite strikes the Earth and we all die.
Well, that's bad too, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're in the cinema watching a bad version of Shaft at the same time, you know?
Oh, boo.
Yeah.
Yeah. We also have a working title for the next Terminator film, Terminator 3/Terminator 6.
Okay, I'm ready to hear it.
Terminator Dark Fate.
All right.
It's okay.
Let's go, okay,
Like
yeah.
Judgment Day is better. So it was No Fate. Remember there was that poem or whatever that Kyrie's recounted to Sarah? who
That
was John
beat
Connor or
poet,
whatever.
that piece of beat poetry that he did, yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Sarah, if you wouldn't mind, and she's like,
Future! Flying chips, too many. It's okay. I mean, it's a working title. What do you think? It's probably going to be what they end up going with.
his piece of poetry has clues on how to defeat the Terminator, and if only she listened, you know?
Doesn't that poem also change movie to movie? I think it
Probably.
changes.
I think it probably does, yeah.
Yeah. Man, there was an era when everything was dark this, dark that, wasn't it?
It sure was. Dark Angels.
Dark Angel, Star Trek Into Darkness, all of those other things. Look, whatever. Okay. James Cameron also said that he's looking at Alien 3
Dark Phoenix.
Alien 5.
The era is...
Oh, it's back, is it?
No, it's the entire existence of the human race.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Just the word dark in things. I
Yes.
get you. Alien,
Zero Dark 30.
Yes. Seen it?
No.
It's all right.
Okay, great.
So Alien 3, Alien 5. James Cameron is apparently looking at it, the Neil Blomkamp version.
Okay.
He's now doing the RoboCop.
Yeah, right.
That's the only thing I want to see out of that franchise, except maybe a good video game. But that's...
Hang on, what are we talking about? What do you want to see?
Alien.
A new Alien.
Yeah, I
right.
want to see one with Ripley and
right.
Hicks and just discount all the other crap.
Would you be okay with them recasting all the main players?
No. I think you could do it like Force Awakens or Shaft.
Yeah, right.
And then bring everybody back.
Because Sigourney Weaver appears to be... as I understand, she's notoriously unreliable in terms of doing a sequel. No, unreliable is not the right word. It's just that she's been burned so many times with sequels, and they'll be like, Alien 4 is a mess because she initially wasn't going to be in it, and then so they wrote it without her, and then she was like, okay, I will be in it, so they rewrote it back in.
3 was the same as well.
Right.
I think there was, and she was going to be in a little bit, and there's currently a comic running which tells the original script of the Alien 3 or whatever. But,
so I guess but doesn't it feel like a real shot in the dark if she's actually going to be in this?
Yes.
Shot in the dark.
I think she's keen though, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of concept art, and Michael Biehn is keen.
Oh, good. That's pretty good.
It was huge, man.
I also don't... I can't get a handle... I guess maybe because she doesn't do a lot of interviews. I can't get a handle on Sigourney Weaver's motivation. You know what I mean?
Like, because...
I don't know. It's just...
why does she do it?
Why does she do...
Or not do things?
Or what projects does she get involved in and not get involved in?
Yeah, right.
You know, because
she's rich, so she's just like whatever...
I guess that's true. I mean, she was in The Defenders. She was in the Ghostbusters reboot for 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what... And I kind of, like, you know...
She was in Chappie.
Was she?
Yeah.
Was she one
She's
of
the boss of Hugh Jackman. She's like, there's too many robots, Hugh Jackman.
Oh, I don't remember that
Don't
at
you
all.
remember?
Not really, no.
I'll look up her recent biography.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you don't know what she does things for.
Well, I guess, yeah, I mean... Yeah, I guess, I mean, she is rich. That's a good point. So, she's at that stage where she only does stuff that interests her or has a decent script.
Oh, yeah, she's in the new Avatars, even though she died.
Yeah, see?
Or whatever.
I guess she's friends with James Cameron.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Or is she? Aliens.
She's in Finding Dory as herself.
Okay.
A Monster Calls. Chappie, yep. Exodus, Gods and Kings. I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, man, what a world. I love everything about
I think maybe it's just a function of her not doing a lot of interviews.
Yeah, you probably
I think
right.
when I see a Bruce Willis or something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, the money.
Also, she was born in 1949. She's like, I'm just kind of,
Yeah. I've just survived the
pretty
Blitz.
old now.
Come on.
Give me a break.
Yeah. 1949.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Thank you.
Being born in that year. She looks great.
She does look great. World War Z 2
Oh, that's definitely off.
It's done.
It's done, okay.
It was David Fincher was doing it with Bradley Pitt. It's not happening anymore.
Okay.
Do you care?
No.
Okay. Well, Fincher would have made it a movie interesting.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I guess that movie did have some interesting sequences in it. Mm-hmm. You know, that final sequence where Brad Pitt's got to do a little sneaky sneak
Where he
through the
has
facility.
has a Pepsi.
Yeah, there's a Pepsi and
Has a
sneaks through
sweet
the
old
facility.
Pepsi,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
fun. Okay.
Yeah. There's some good stuff in that movie. You know what? It's one of the few examples where it was an absolute nightmare of a film and they reshot the entire ending and whatever, and it turned out okay.
Oh, I see. Right.
Because that rarely happens.
Yeah.
And it was a success. It did reasonably well.
Why? Do you know why they reshot it? Was it
I
just
can't
people weren't happy with it,
got
or
fired or something?
Oh, okay, right.
Apparently they end up in Russia. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just excited for World War Z 2. No, wait, it's cancelled. So that's good. Last bit of news, Bob Iger had a shareholders call this week. People were thinking there was going to be a Star Wars title reveal. Mm-hmm. The rumour is Balance of the Force.
Okay.
You okay with that, if that's true or not true?
Sure.
Yeah, there was that concept art. We talked about it briefly before the show with some people who are in it, but...
It's very blurry.
It's very blurry. Lando looks good.
Okay,
That's
great.
And Rey's wearing white or whatever. So, yeah, look, when we get a clearer look at it...
Well, isn't
cover
that a clue?
more.
Light
Maybe.
side?
Yeah, but Luke was wearing black at the start of Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
and
it's true.
Yeah, but maybe it was just slimming.
Yeah, it's
You
true,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
You got to be confident to wear white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm confident.
Because I know you wear white jeans.
Yes.
You have been known to wear white jeans. I won't wear a white jean because I'll just get a handprint on them. My own.
Yeah, right?
I'm just always covered in Vegemite and glue. So
That's true, yeah. For your famous sticky Vegemite sandwiches.
yeah, you like them.
I do, yeah. Thank you for your sacrifice.
No problem. But the other thing was that apparently they're going to continue to make R-rated films for Marvel.
Marvel, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Which is
I
good,
thought, well,
guess.
that's a broad statement. We've decided that as the film industry, we're going to keep making R-rated films, but
Iger
Disney
will allow us.
specifically.
Yeah, which makes sense. I mean, mean, that's the result of Deadpool, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's good that they're still going forward with those. And the other thing is, he said he was okay with licensing out to EA for the video game.
Still,
And that...
is that because he doesn't know anything about video games?
I believe so, yeah. I'd have to be. Also, you're on a shareholders meeting. You're not going to be like, yeah, we fucked that up. Because he also said something interesting. He said the Last Jedi was like a huge financial success. And it was, but he didn't also acknowledge that a lot of people did not like it.
Yeah.
And it maybe to contribute to some of the hate towards Solo and the
Yeah.
smaller numbers. Not all of it, but I don't doubt that it contributed somewhat to it. Yeah. So it's a shareholders call. You're not going to be like, yeah, things are...
Exactly. We made some mistakes. Let me tell you, we made some big old mistakes.
Yeah, but it's... Look, whatever happens, it's going to be a huge year for Disney this year because they've got no Nutcracker in the Four Realms or any of those movies. So, they'll be fine.
Yeah, but what about the people who are just staying home in anticipation of the release of another Nutcracker movie? Nutcracker 2 still cracking.
Still cracking, get cracking.
Nutcracker 2 get crack-a-lacking.
What was interesting about the EA thing was, though, they said they were still going to license to third-party developers, which I don't mind, but maybe also license to some other third-party developers, because you can.
Other than EA.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he said that they're not good at making video games, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I didn't play Epic Mickey or its sequel. Yeah. Okay, Mason.
Yes?
We're finally here to talk about anime adaptations, Western anime adaptations. We're only doing live action ones.
Okay.
I think this might be all of them, all of the mainstream ones.
Depends how many we can think of, I guess.
Probably others, I'm
Depends,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I went through the Wikipedia. What else do people want of us? I
Sure.
hope they don't expect more than that.
I know.
People don't, do they?
No, I mean, well, see, that's the thing. We're the only two people who have access to Wikipedia. So how else would they get that information? They couldn't simply go to Wikipedia now and look up Western live-action remakes of anime.
And even though it's really good that the people who run that do run it for just us,
Yeah.
I never donate. I never do
Wow. I'm donating $7 million a year.
No wonder you can't afford to buy pizzas
Yeah,
for people
right?
in the cinemas. Okay, so let's start with The Guyver.
Okay,
I haven't
sure.
seen this one.
Uh-huh.
I've seen clips of
both. There are two. Did you know that?
Like a sequel?
There's two. There's The Guyver came in 91, I believe.
Yeah.
So this is right. This is peak. I think this is when they were looking for superhero stuff.
Yeah, right.
Because this is post Batman 1989.
Yes.
So I think they would like, okay, we need anything that's a man in a big rubbery suit fighting evil.
Yep.
We need some of that.
What is this? You've mentioned it before.
Yeah.
I've seen one horrifying scene with Mark Hamill.
Yep.
Which we'll get to.
So yeah, well, what's interesting is these movies have two. The first one's from 1991. There's a sequel which came in maybe 93 or 94 called Guyver Dark Hero.
Okay, I'm not that up.
What's interesting is that Mark Hamill's in the first one.
Yep.
But the second one, the guy who plays the actor who played the Guyver is recast.
Okay.
And
Through a Darkman 2 situation.
it really is. But the actor who played the Guyver in the sequel is David Hayter, who most people will know.
The
as
president.
Exactly. Wait, what?
24.
No, that's Dennis Haysbert.
Oh, yeah.
David Hayter is a voice actor. He's probably best known as being Solid Snake in the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah.
He moved away from acting, live action for the most part, I think, to focus on voice work. So that's where you know him.
And then he
from.
got done by Kiefer Sutherland, also from 24.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting. So, did you see both of these recently?
No, I saw them on probably VHS.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I recently rewatched some clips because I'm like, if we're going to be talking about this, I should get back into the
I also
groove.
watched some clips.
The second one is probably significantly better than the first one. I feel the draw card for the first one is Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
But you don't have to watch the first one. I feel the second one is gorier and the suit looks better. It's a real
I just saw some images
RoboCop
of
2
it.
situation.
What's the premise of this, The Guyver?
The premise basically is there's a corporation called Cronus.
Okay.
In the anime it's called Cronus, and in the movie it's called Cronus. It doesn't matter. It's Kronos. But
Cronut.
yeah, it's the Cronut Corporation, right? And they're using the profits from inventing a brand new pastry treat.
Yes.
They're funneling it into weapon systems, but basically, you think they're like an Earth-based corporation, but they're aliens, and they've come down to I don't know, take over the world or something.
Are some of them good?
No, they're all bad.
Oh.
But they release.
Oh.
Yeah, I know exactly. But they in the anime they release they lose track of these 3 Guyver units, which are like these little. They look like landmines, and they bond with like a human, like in a symbiote style.
Oh, like a Mech the Predator suit.
Like a Mech the Predator suit, exactly. And one gets in the hands of like a high school student.
Okay.
And the other 2 could sort of go missing for a while. And basically he decides to do some superheroing. But they want to get it back, obviously. So
Do they have their own the Guyver suits? Or is there only the 3?
There are only the 3, I believe. But then they send in a variety of... I think they're called zoonoids. They're like... and they send in a variety of, horrific monsters that, of course, he has to deal with. In the anime, he has to deal... every episode he has to deal with a gigantic monster that can produce big blades or enzymes that can melt his suit or whatever, and it's...
Sounds like something that would translate really well to live action.
No. The second one's way gory, if I recall. In the opening of the first one, he like slits a guy's throat in the first 5 minutes, I think.
Okay.
The best part about the first one, having rewatched some of it recently, is that when obviously he's a high school student and he gets the Guyver thing, and he's like, I don't know, he's a normal guy, and obviously he has to trigger this transformation, the Guyver, and so he's accosted by like this unbelievably stereotypical like Hispanic gang.
Yes.
It's sort of, it's not exclusively Hispanic, but like they're all dressed like, they've got the flannel shirt buttoned up to the top button. And they've got the bandanas, and they're all holding their guns sideways, and like they harass him, and then he turns into the Guyver and he beats them all up. But it was just so. Sounds
like a real Suburban Commando situation.
It's just
sounds like a real the Green Lantern situation where he gets accosted in the alley for being too good a pilot or whatever. It's just what though?
I've lost my train of thought.
Good?
They're not good. They're not.
Explain to me.
I think I would have loved them back in the day, though.
Yeah,
I think immediately post
because there's nothing else.
Batman, exactly. I
love Suburban Commando. Okay, explain to me the scene where Mark Hamill turns into a giant cockroach.
He gets better eventually.
What?
Yeah.
Doesn't he die after that?
I think they bring him back to life. I feel confident they bring him back to life.
It's pretty fucking horrific as well. Like, even now, I'm like, whoa, this is a lot. It's also weird because it's Mark Hamill. I'm like, this is Luke Skywalker turning into a cockroach.
It's, this was...
Was it a virus?
Can I look it up? I'll find out. I can't remember. Let's find out.
Yeah, it's really quite graphic. And it's really well done. It's a bit kind of The Fly-esque.
Yeah, right.
In the transformation. Yeah.
Were you impressed by what you saw?
Yeah.
It's not all like that.
Oh.
Right. He's experimented on and he's transformed into one of these zoonoids.
Yeah.
Which is your
alien.
Your alien cockroach situation.
He's a CIA agent, it says.
That's correct, yes. I don't think it's worth a watch, though.
No, I agree.
Because
otherwise I'll watch the whole thing. I feel like I saw enough with the scene where he turns into a cockroach. I don't think you need anything else.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yes.
Oldboy. You seen it?
I haven't seen it, no.
You seen it either?
I haven't seen either version, no.
Okay. It's quite good.
Yes?
The sequel, not sequel, the remake by Spike Lee. Who did Black Klansman and other great films. And other not as great films. It's horrible. It's a horrible film. Josh Brolin is, I guess, okay. I don't want to get too much into it. If you want to watch a good video on why this is not good, Your Movie Sucks did he did an extended kind of piece on why this doesn't work comparatively to the first.
Another thought I had about the Guyver, just before we move on, is that the Guyver is much like a video game boss in the sense that he has a weak spot.
His ears.
No, it's the control device in the center of his forehead.
That's a bad spot,
It's a bad spot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the second one, he fights a guy who has acquired the second Guyver unit. So it's Guyver. It's mutated. It's Guyver versus mutated
GVG,
Guyver.
yeah,
obviously. And, he defeats him just by pulling the thing out of his head.
Nice.
But in the first one, if I remember correctly, he headbutts a dude, and that damages the control unit in his head. Like, what's...
Should at least put it on the back of his head.
Put it on the back of his head.
It's ridiculous. Or under your arm or something.
Under your arm, exactly.
In case somebody goes for the tickle, then you'd be in trouble.
Then you're in big trouble, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Oldboy. Tell me about Oldboy.
So basically, it's about... The people probably know this, but the story of... It's probably more well-known than the Guyver, I'd imagine.
Definitely, yeah.
It's a man, and he's just kind of a schlubby, kind of drunken fool. And for some reason, he gets kidnapped, and he's in prison for, I think, it's like something like 20 years. I don't have...
In just an apartment.
Yeah, just an apartment, and he's fed the same dumplings every day.
Nice.
Depending on the version, he's depending... different food, but in the live action original,
It's
version,
dumplings.
It's dumplings. So he's obviously hates dumplings by the end, and so
Well, I'd never get tired of dumplings, so
He's had enough, but
lucky for some, am I
yeah,
right?
he doesn't know why he's
What
there.
does Josh Brolin get?
He gets a variety of
okay.
Asian cuisines.
Really? Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't get some sort of all-American
Well,
thing?
it's weird.
He doesn't get Hungry Man TV dinners or something?
It's weird because you see him being like sick of the food, but he gets a variety of food.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't be like, I'm sick of this. You'd be like,
So it's a V for
fried
Vendetta
rice tonight.
situation where in the movie version of that, people are like, we're tired of living in this fascist society. Oh, that fascist society where you all live in a nice apartment, you have a big TV and
Beautiful
everything's
TV,
great?
yeah.
Huh, interesting.
And you get fireworks shows every now and then. But
And you eat eggy in a basket or whatever it's
That's
called.
right.
Eggy in bread.
yeah.
Eggy boys in
We
bread.
call them bullseyes in Australia. What you do, you take 2 slices of bread, you put in some cheese in the middle, you cut a hole in it, you put it on, you butter both sides, you put it in a pan, you crack an egg into it, bit of allspice seasoning, you flip it over, make sure you get both sides, cut it in half, triangles probably, and you give that a munch, mate. Get
Doesn't
into
that damage the egg if you cut it in half?
He's supposed to damage it, but the egg's cooked.
Yeah, no, I get it.
You don't get it.
Don't like it. What do they call it in the movie? Eggy in a
Egg in a
basket.
basket. But apparently not a thing.
No.
So anyway, he's then released all of a sudden, and it's about him trying to figure out what's happened to him, and he befriends this younger girl, and they have a relationship or whatever. Are you familiar with the ending?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Oh, should I spoil it?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, he ends up sleeping with this person, and it turns out that the girl he slept with was his daughter, his biological daughter, and then he cuts out his own tongue, and he's mortified and whatever, and yeah, it's a whole.
It was
thing.
all an elaborate ruse.
It's because the dude who did it was. It's depending on the version because he shamed him or whatever when he was younger, when he was at school and whatever. Anyway, the American version hits all those beats, but not well, like at all.
Right.
And one of the most famous sequences.
I would argue that neither of them hit them well because it's a really disturbing story.
Oh, it's
and I don't
horrible.
like
It's
it.
a horrible, horrible premise.
Uh-huh.
But there's a sequence where he fights a bunch of dudes in a hallway
Yes.
with a hammer. If you haven't seen the movie, you've probably seen that scene,
Yes.
at least on YouTube. They do a similar thing in the new one, and it's nowhere near as close or shot as well or as visually interesting. Also in the first one, the guy, he's quite heavy at the start and then he loses the weight. In this one, Josh Brolin's just kind of bloated and then he's just not as bloated 20 years later. Also, he mostly just looks the same. It's supposed to be like 20 years. So he's supposed to be like 25 and then he's 45, but he just looks like
same,
Josh
right.
Brolin. It's just it's horrible. And it also feels like it was just like a Spike Lee. They were like, Spike Lee will give you this amount of money. Will you make it? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll make a Spike Lee joint. Why wouldn't I? Let's do this.
So I think Spike Lee, obviously, the movies that he's more passionate about are better, generally.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, interestingly. I mean, Black Klansman's been nominated or whatever, but no, I don't think you need to watch the original if you're interested in.
So this was based on an anime
I
or a
believe
manga
so, yeah, one of those things.
or a mango.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's based on a mango. Someone carved the story into a fruit.
Huh.
Yeah, it didn't last very long because it's a mango.
Yeah, for sure.
obviously.
Somebody ate that delicious mango.
Yeah, I should look that up.
Please.
Because
Because if it's not based on an anime, it's going in the bin.
yeah, it's a manga. Sorry, yeah,
Okay,
I
right.
apologize. Just watch the hammer scene, I guess.
Of the original, not of,
The original, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but if you had to watch a scene from the new version, because we're talking about Western adaptations,
Okay, the new version.
yes,
There's a very funny scene, and this is again in the Your Movie Sucks version, where a dad goes through and he shoots shoots his family with a shotgun, and it's just so bizarre.
wait, who shoots who?
The villain's dad,
Yes,
and he just goes through and he's just shooting everybody in his family, and it's unintentionally comical. It's very bizarre.
for what purpose?
It's
Is this after he's imprisoned the guy? Is
this
he's-
is the dad. Yeah, after he was in prison. No, it's a flashback to when he was a kid because his dad shot him. Because there was a weird relationship in the family, like the dad was abusive and whatever. And it's
That is pretty weird. If your dad shot you, that would be a weird relationship, wouldn't
I
it?
mean, not that part. I mean, prior to that, it was also much weirder. And more
Okay, right.
disturbing. I
Prior to
don't-
that, it was all sunshine and roses.
yeah. What do you want to talk about next, though, Mason?
In terms of,
we could do Ghost in the Shell.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's just popped up on Australian Netflix. I might give it a rewatch.
it's pretty dull, isn't it?
Well, I don't know, but I could watch individual scenes, I guess.
I was really looking forward to the bit where she fights the tank.
Yes,
And
and
it's just not very interesting.
no, it's
the
it's
spider
less
tank.
interesting. No, you're right.
That's what I thought would be interesting.
You are correct. That is true. I think it does some like I know this is heresy, but I think it's very interesting to see some of the scenes remade in live action.
Yeah.
And they've actually pulled them off quite well.
I
There's
think
a scene where she chases it. There's a guy his mind's been altered,
Yep.
and she has to chase him down in the city, and he's
Yep.
shooting at her, and she's turned invisible. And
The invisible effect is terrible, though.
it could be worse. And
You
then,
specifically in the episode mentioned how terrible it is.
Yeah,
when
it's
we
not
talked
bad.
about- No, it's bad.
oh, it is bad. No, you're right. It is.
Yeah.
It could be worse. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But that scene replicated in live action, I think they pulled it off quite well.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see that. But it's just a very... You're right. It has a softer finale for some reason. It has not a significantly less impact.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
And the characters are less engaging. And I know she's a robot, but I don't really... Well, it's not a robot. She's got a human brain or whatever, and she's really Japanese or whatever.
Yes.
Remember all of those things.
Yeah, they put in the loophole of, well, she was originally Japanese.
Yeah.
And then when her
When they
body
gave
was...
her the robot suit.
when they gave her the robot suit, it looked like Scarlett Johansson.
When maybe Michael Keaton gave her the robot suit. I don't remember who gave her the robot suit.
I don't think it was Michael Keaton.
They probably... I think I'm thinking of the RoboCop reboot.
You might think of the RoboCop reboot.
Yeah. Okay, I do like the opening.
Hey, it's me, actor Michael Keaton. I work for the Japanese police department in the future now, which I call the present, because we are in the present. Anyway, I got you a new robot suit.
Do you want it?
Do you want it? It's like when American movie stars do ads in Japan.
Yeah.
Except he signed the wrong contract, and now he has to work in Japan giving
For
robot
robot
suits
suits
to
to people.
former dead people who
Yeah.
now have to work for the police.
Do you think when people make those ads, because a lot of them are from like the 90s and the early 2000s, they didn't think they'd ever cross the
Yes,
shore?
absolutely. I don't think they've...
Because there's normally somebody screaming into the camera about a soda brand while stars fly by them or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
No, I absolutely think they were like, well, nobody could imagine technology where that is. And I guess because, Japan is kind of insular in that way. I think they were like, well...
Less so now. But
But I think they're like, well, my secret's safe with them, I think.
the whole of Japan have got me covered.
And it just took one American tourist...
One weeaboo.
to just pop over there and just turn the TV on and go, oh my God, and then just stare at the TV for the remainder of the day. They went down the road and they bought a very advanced video camera
Yes.
and they just stared at the TV all day until the George Clooney coffee ad came back on or whatever. I mean, he does coffee ads now,
Yeah,
so
he
it's
does,
less...
yeah. It's not so much the products, it's the way that
They're delivered, yeah.
delivered, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? Ghost
Goes
in
to
the
the
Shell.
Shell. I mean, we did an episode on it. People can
That's true,
definitely
we did,
go
yeah.
back and listen to that. But yeah, especially because Blade Runner came out that same year.
That's true, yeah.
And-
Which had something to say.
It had something to say, and visually, because you look at the original Ghost in the Shell, it's spectacular, obviously, for multiple reasons. And they kind of mimic some of the
dubbing's
shots
bad,
in
though.
it.
It's so
The
bad.
dubbing's bad, yeah. But I don't remember
I think that's
it all.
I think maybe because I felt like the live version, the dialogue was delivered in a much more naturalistic way, and I could ease into it a bit better.
Yeah.
I think it had its pros and cons.
Yeah, a lot of
that
them
movie.
it's pretty like
Whatever I said last time, I probably stand by some of it.
Agreed. But a lot of this stuff is just rushed and they're just reading lines and they don't know the context of whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I get it. I get
But-
things.
Yeah, so it's just not, like you said, it's not that interesting a premise, or they don't translate the premise very well, or what it is to be human, and I was this and now I'm a different thing, and does it change me, and whatever, and all of those things that happen. I do like the opening scene where they're
That
building...
is
the
said
robot-
verbatim in that voice.
Yes, that's right.
What is it meant to be human and other things?
They're-
Ghost in the Shell.
They're building the robot body at the
Yes,
start,
uh-huh.
and it starts with the brain, and the body gets built around it, and
Yeah.
whatever. I think that scene's really quite good, and the music's really good.
Yes.
But
And we got some scenes which I believe are from Standalone Complex, which was this TV series sequel.
Okay.
There's the scene where there's some robot geishas and stuff like that. I think that
and they're
is...
scuttering about. Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't mind that bit either. Yeah, okay. It's good. It's a good movie.
It is a great
It's
movie.
100. It's probably the best one on this list.
It may very well be.
Yeah, it is.
Although I have a soft spot for one of them, which I recently saw,
Okay.
which I'm sure you hate.
No
I'm
doubt.
sure we'll get to it at some point.
do-
Maybe we'll say, I think you know what I'm talking about. We might save it till the finale, because I would like to discuss it in depth.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we do one that you've only seen, and then we'll do one that I've only seen.
Okay, cool.
Fist of the North
I think
Star.
I've seen Fist of the North Star.
1995
Yes,
zone.
it's so
What
oily.
is this?
It's I can't remember. I'm going to look up who the main actor is, but the villain is Costas Mandylor.
Who is that?
He's an Australian actor, but he's probably best known. There was like a whimsical small town TV series called Picket Fences,
I remember
and
Picket
he's one of the cops in that.
I know him.
It was him and Lauren Holly, where they were like a cop. They were the only two cops in town of this quaint little town, and also just crazy, just funny little whimsical things happen. There was an X-Files crossover. Anyway, Costas Mandylor is in that, and he's also like a sweaty shirtless villain in this.
Okay, right.
And it's basically...
There's some people in this that I like. Malcolm McDowell's in it. Chris Penn.
Chris Penn is in it.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died.
Okay, yeah.
R.I.P.
Clint
Chris
Howard's
Penn.
in it.
Yeah. Chris Penn is
The
in it.
guy played Rufio from Hook is in it.
Oh. Chris Penn's character wears like an elaborate leather stripped mask around his face.
Love it.
And he's this horrible monster of a man. And at the end, he's like the Costas Mandylor is fighting the hero in one room. Right,
Costas Mandylor's in Virtuosity.
Oh, is he?
Of course he is. It's also 1995.
Yeah, right. This was his year to break big, you know?
Absolutely.
Anyway, in one scene, the hero and the villain are having their spectacular kung fu battle in one scene, and like the love interest is fighting Chris Penn's character in the other room, he's about to get the better of her and kill her, and you know. And then he's gonna go and tell the hero that he's killed the love interest or whatever. But then he gets one of the leather strips on his mask comes off and he gets caught in some gears, and it peels all the stuff. It peels all the leather binding off his head, and that was the only thing keeping the pressure of his head down. And so his head explodes.
Actually explodes.
Yes,
wow.
It's great.
How does it look?
Bad. There's a lot because Fist of the North Star, the anime version. I can't speak to the manga version because I didn't read it, but the anime version was part of the first wave of anime that we got in Australia, and it was the ones that were selected to be released in the Western world, I think, were market like they were all incredibly gory.
Okay,
and
right,
Fist of the North Star, basically Kenshiro, who's the main hero.
Oh, the mullet on the lead
yeah.
guy.
So Kenshiro's ability is that he is the master of this particular martial art where he can like give you a little tappy tap and then your head explodes.
Yes.
Or he gives you a little tappy tap and like all your veins burst or whatever. He's one of those guys.
Had he already done it to the guy with tape around his head? Is that why his head exploded?
No, his head
because it was just like, I'll just use electrical tape.
Or maybe it was. Maybe it's yeah. There's some holdovers from the anime that go to the movie. Like there's a scene in one episode of the anime where one of the villains comes up to Kenshiro and he's like, I'm gonna use this technique on you. You won't be able to withstand this technique, and he gives him this little tap on the sides of the head with his thumbs, and then Kenshiro walks away and the guy's like, I'm gonna count down. The villain's like, I'm gonna count down till 10, and then you're gonna die, kind of thing.
Right.
And then Kenshiro walks away, and the guy hasn't mastered the art, so his own head explodes. And there's a similar version to that in the movie, except Kenshiro comes up to this dude and gives him like this unbelievably unrealistic pantomime, like 100-hand tap to every point on his body.
And the guy doesn't stop him at any point?
No, and because it's like
stop it.
it's like being slapped with a feather duster. It's just like and then he walks away and the guy explodes. It's pretty.
This is like the 5-point exploding heart thing.
Technique, yes, exactly,
Kill
yeah.
Bill.
Which maybe this is where Tarantino cribbed it from. I don't know.
Okay.
But the martial arts is actually not that bad.
Okay.
I have to say,
How's
especially
Costas Mandylor's martial
pretty
arts?
good.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any of the high kicks. I'm sorry. I'm going to look up the main guy because maybe he had a career in something.
His name is...
I would be willing to bet something Daniels. Gary Daniels, the host.
His name's Kenshiro in it.
Yeah, it is Kenshiro, yeah.
Even though he's an English actor and retired professional and amateur kickboxer.
There we go. Okay, yep. I would have, if I had to guess, if anybody was a martial artist in that movie, I would have said it was him.
Okay, so his martial artist is good, but everything else is not as good.
Yeah.
Great.
And there's also the final battle is one of the it's one of those turnarounds where Costas Mandylor like gets him and he hits him with the incredible martial arts, super advanced martial arts technique, and like all the blood sprays out of. This was a big era for like
blood spraying everywhere all the time.
Just imagine you were the guy that specialized in that. You were the special effects guy, and you were like, yeah, I'm pretty good with spraying blood out of
The
torn
economy
arteries.
was recovering after the crash of '89.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
people could do these things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, he gets him on the ground and he gives him the tap and like all his veins burst and all this blood sprays out of his arms
Does it
or whatever.
look good, or does it just look like a man who's just got a whole bunch of blood pipes in him?
Yeah, it looks like that.
Good. Like a Monty Python
And then he hits
skit.
then he hits the ground and then Costas Mandalore's like that's his full name. I'll use it every. It's a great name, isn't it? It's a world class name. They're fighting, and he's like, "Oh yeah, your girlfriend, she's dead." And the mate Kenshiro's like, "Whoa, no!" And then he, it's one of those moments where, and then he just lays into him.
Does all the things.
It's so good. But anyway, he gets him on the ground, and the blood's spraying out, and then he's just like. Then he just gets up and now he's 10 times more powerful. It's one of those. Is that turnaround?
It's a Street Fighter ending.
It's a Street Fighter ending, exactly.
I love
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a
I'm
good
gonna learn.
movie.
I'm gonna learn some facts about Malcolm McDowell's in this movie. I think
Yes.
you mentioned that earlier.
Yep. He's doing Tank Girl. He's riding high off that, obviously.
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Trek Generations. The 90s were a big era for Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah, they were, weren't they?
He was doing okay. Is this one you'd say go back to, though?
No, it's a dull watch. It's
Yeah.
dull.
Sounds like there's a lot of good exploding stuff.
It was dull at the time.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
cannot
Wow,
imagine it being good.
You
now.
remember it vividly. You don't remember your schooling.
I know, right?
But you remember everything about
Because
this
I
movie.
think I was big on this sort of stuff.
Yeah, right.
I think,
yeah.
at
And
the
there
time.
wasn't a lot of
And
it.
there wasn't a lot of it. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
You got to get it from the video store and watch it a whole bunch of times.
You ain't wrong. Well, while you're looking at that, do you want to quickly talk about Death Note?
Yes,
You haven't seen Death Note? Or you
the
have now?
remake.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No.
See, I haven't seen the original Death Note or read. And the reason I haven't is, well, I should go back because I haven't, because I know the story.
Yes.
And look, a lot of people hate this, and it's not great. But I think I've said this before on this show. Watching it, it feels like a summation of a much better story. Like I'm like, there's some very interesting ideas in this story.
Right. Does it feel like you were supposed to be watching it having already watched the original or read the original?
Yeah, it's not, you don't get lost, but it feels like there's a lot in it, and they brush over a lot of stuff. For those who don't know, by the way, there's a lot of people who love anime and manga who are listening to this who are screaming.
They've stopped
at us.
listening already. They've
We
stopped listening.
apologize. We're not experts on this or Harry Potter
Or anything, really.
or anything. But yeah, so it's a kid who gets given a book, and anybody who writes in the book dies. But he's given it to by a demon.
Yes.
And the demon's a pretty bad bloke. Or he's just doing his job. He's just being a demon or whatever. It's voiced by Willem Dafoe. And the demon in the movie looks quite good. It's like a CGI kind of thing, or maybe it's a puppet.
I have
know.
seen snippets.
Yeah.
So.
And it's a pretty, I mean, it's a very visually compelling design outside of the live action
right.
movie. So but they've translated it really well.
And so this guy, the main guy, decides that he's going to use this book to rid the world of
Yes.
crime and evil and,
Yes.
and what have you.
But in doing so, like, some people who are close to him use it for personal gain. And then the world's greatest detective,
Batman.
Batman, yeah, he's onto him. Figures out, who's never revealed his name, so you can't write his name in the book.
Yeah, right.
Goes after this guy, and he narrows this kid down to the school that he's at, and figures it out. So there's a lot of stuff in it that's like, wow, this is an interesting premise told not very well.
If you were not aware that it was based on something else, would you still feel that way, do you think?
Yeah, it still feels a bit lacking.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that being said, I don't know, because I
Right.
knew it was based on something going into it.
Did you enjoy it?
I didn't hate it.
Okay.
But I think that's also because I hadn't seen... Everybody who has seen the original hates this. So I think I'm an outlier there, because who would watch this and not watch the other one? A lunatic.
Yeah,
an
right.
idiot.
Or someone who doesn't have access to it.
Yes,
it's
that's
probably
right.
there's
Who doesn't have Crunchyroll. or
Crunchyroll.
whatever,
Can we
yeah.
get Crunchyroll? People have tweeted at us and
think we
been
can
like,
get
"Do you want
Crunchyroll.
some Crunchyroll credits?" And I'm like, "I don't know what that means."
I think we can get it here. I'm fairly confident.
It's
yeah.
on the internet.
Yeah, there was a point where I was going to do a sponsored video for it, but it never came through. So I was interested to check it out.
Because they were going to give you money.
Yeah, because they're going to give me money. But also, there's stuff on there that I've never seen that I
They were
want
going to give you
watch.
money in Kenshiro plush dolls. You squeeze them and blood comes out.
Because I remember seeing this stuff, the original stuff, the animated stuff on the shelf as a kid, but I don't know what any of it is. I don't know whether any of it's sequels or is
Yeah,
it a
right,
series. Like I didn't even know where to start with this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm at the local video store. It was just kind of a Blockbuster or whatever.
Yeah.
And nobody there knows anything.
Exactly.
You know, it's
And
just a bored mum behind the counter.
Yeah,
So.
and it's often difficult because it's quite rarely, I think, that they'll just go, okay, well, it's this series and then it's this series 2. It's,
and also series 2 is often missing.
Yeah, right.
Or you can only rent like 4 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
Or
Like
whatever.
I went in, I think we've talked about Gundam in the past. Like I have no idea where to start with that.
Gundam style, yeah.
And there's people emailed in and were like, you should start with this series. And other people, and we mentioned that on the show, and other people emailed in and went,
Don't start with that.
Don't start with that series, you idiots. Kind of. So if the fans can't agree on what series to start with, how are we?
What do us
some
normies
little
do?
lads at the video store, you know?
We don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess just at the start, just at the first one.
First one,
Yeah.
you know? But oftentimes people are like,
You don't even need to.
Exactly. They haven't gotten in their groove with the first
Yeah.
one, so skip the first one, you know?
Yeah. Especially when stuff is, from the 80s, you watch it like, oh, this is slow. So you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got an email this week. Somebody said, have we ever watched Full Metal Alchemist?
No.
I watched the first episode and I couldn't get on board with it.
Because you loved it so much. It was
No,
too much of a
it's
visual
not how that
treat.
works. No, I would have said that if that were true.
I can't believe you found it that compelling.
I didn't, though.
You going to go back to it? You'll have to because you loved it
Everybody
so much.
said what am I doing here now? I'm currently watching it on my phone. I don't know. Everybody says it's good. Maybe people listening, should I give it? How many episodes should I give it? 4?
10.
10?
90.
90 episodes?
Yeah, 90.
Wow. There's also a sequel, I think, called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Cool, okay.
Should I watch that one instead? What should I watch?
Fight about it.
Fight
everybody.
about it in the comments and emails.
Oh, that's good stuff. Yeah. Anyway, Death Note is an interesting idea in a not great film.
Would you say it's the best one thus far? Bearing in mind you haven't seen the ones that I've mentioned.
No, I think Ghost of the Shell is probably better.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that just because you like a sci-fi environment more than you like a fantasy environment?
Maybe it is Death Note. Maybe you're right. Anyway, this next one is better than all of them.
Disagree.
We're going to do a caravan of garbage on it. But Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh, that's the one I wanted to talk to you
do you want to do
about.
that last then?
No, I don't mind.
I don't mind. We'll do Speed Racer first.
Okay, let's do Speed Racer. We can do it really quickly.
Speed Racer is so bright and so dull.
It's weird, right? Bright physically, dull content-wise.
Yes.
It's not appealing. A lot of people like it.
Yeah, well, because one I mentioned on Twitter that I was watching it, I got about half an hour in, I couldn't finish it. And I paid for it. I paid money. And even then I'm like, I'm throwing this money away now. I'm okay with it.
But you've still got it there just in case, right?
No, I rented it.
No, but you've got like another 24 hours to keep watching
I
it.
think it's done by now. I'm not watching it.
Okay, right.
I would only watch it for this show, and I
Yeah.
tried to. Normally I'd finish it.
What if you do finish it, and then next week you're like, I've changed my tune. We're doing a full Wachowski's Speed Racer episode. We're going to break it down frame by frame.
I would love to do a Wachowski's episode. But yeah.
But it's visually spectacular.
No, it's not.
But what I'm saying is it's visually interesting.
No, it's not.
But it's not compelling. Like you go, oh, there's so much happening, but it doesn't feel like it's happening in a real universe.
There is such a disconnect between the live action and the CGI in it.
Yes.
Because it's... I know because it's obviously a conscious decision because it was only made in 2010 or whatever to make the CGI stuff very cartoony.
Yes.
But they don't feel like they're the same world.
Yeah,
and then
right.
sometimes it's set and other times it's just whatever Elon Musk, whatever the kid's name is. What's his name?
Speed Racer.
Yeah, no, the actor. Yeah, but his name's...
Oh.
So his name's Speed Racer.
Correct, yes.
Yeah. But Emil Hirsch.
Yes.
And, he's just turning a wheel in front of a green screen,
Yeah. And I think that is potentially by design. I
agree.
I'm sure people will be like, okay, well, obviously it's meant to evoke the original series, which was camp and hokey and very earnest kind of thing in a lot of ways. I don't think something can be camp and earnest at the same time, but it doesn't matter. It's one of the two.
Probably, I think things probably kill.
But I don't. For me, that doesn't work at all. It doesn't. There's no. Because everything's green screen, it doesn't feel like a compelling narrative to me, you know?
Because you look at like Sin City, and maybe the second one,
Sure.
which I haven't seen, which is still on your iPad or whatever.
Yes, it is.
I bet it's not great. But that is clearly a cartoon world, and, it's stylized or whatever, but the live action, and they mesh, and every now and then you just get like the silhouette of a character walking. But it always seems to be just a live action Matthew Fox sitting with a mask on and
Oh, that's
being
right. He's
like,
Racer X.
I'm a good racer, and I got challenged to racing, and I was too good at racing, so the government came after me or whatever happens in it. And look, it's a really good cast. It's like Christina Ricci. Is that his name?
John Goodman's in it.
John
yeah.
Goodman's in it. Emil Hirsch is a good actor. But it's and they put the chimpanzee in, which is good, I guess. I didn't think they were going to do that, and then that shows up. But I found it just intolerable as a film to watch, like so boring and so flashy at the same time. And I don't know how
they've achieved that.
Or how it got made.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because it's the Matrix, obviously.
Yeah, I think they were. I think they promised a visual tour de force, and I think they were promised. They promised. If I had to guess, I'd say they promised they would redefine the kids' action. I think that they were like, well, it's trippy enough for adults and it's fun enough for kids or something.
Tour de farce, Mason.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to look up some reviews at the bottom.
It looks like Cat in the Hat. Like it looks that kind of film. Like it looks like a Blue's Clues universe.
Ian Nathan from Empire says, it'll split the ranks like a pizza cutter. You might admire it as a Warholian blur of pop art, gorp and gasp at its Hot Wheels for real dynamism, or get a headache.
Yeah, the second
Yeah,
one.
that's the second one. Yeah.
What else we got?
Let's find out reception. Here we go.
How many bars? Thank you.
You son of a bitch. Headache-inducing special effects. Headache is,
Yeah.
that's correct.
I mean, it was probably in 3D, wasn't it?
Almost certainly. Stellar visual effects.
No.
Yeah. Story and character were tossed aside towards the wearying
That's 2008,
races.
sorry.
Wearying races. I think they were also
Yeah.
wearying. Yeah, okay. Cinematic pile-up. I get it.
Because Speed is just like the guy, Emil Hirsch. He's just looking stern and staring ahead
Yes.
as his car just flips ridiculously
Yes.
around this impossible track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think it's... What do you think could have improved it?
Just don't make it.
But do you think they... I think they could have made a...
I don't know, maybe realer cars and realer
Yes,
tracks.
yeah.
Because I don't remember... I mean, they've got a real car. He's really sitting in a car. I just saw a green screen bit. But I don't remember much of the original show. But I don't remember the track looking like that.
No, I mean, mostly in Speed Racer, they would race on like open roads kind of thing. It was like across... It was like, dangerous mountainsides and stuff like that.
And is it the same track? Because his brother completes the track, and this is just of what I saw. I'm commenting on this movie I haven't seen, and people will be like, you should give it a chance. I won't.
Mm-hmm.
I will never go back to this.
Right.
But they're like, he's nearly beat his brother's time, and who did the same race like 15 years ago. They didn't change the track. Is everyone just racing this one track? Are there
More
other
safety
tracks?
barriers now.
There's no safety barriers.
There's one safety barrier.
Is there? I didn't see
I
any.
don't know. But
But he's such a good racer that he's like miles ahead of everybody else.
Yes.
And I just...
No, I think it would be difficult because, look, as a kid, I really enjoyed watching it. It was on at like 8 in the mornings before school, and I would watch Speed Racer. But what I loved about it is because he had this novelty. It was the most amazing car.
Yeah.
And it had like it had springs in the wheels, and it had missiles and
Does it do any of
buzzsaws, and in the movie,
Yeah.
some of that stuff.
Okay.
But I guess it's very difficult to integrate that into a somewhat realistic. You couldn't make it's even a step beyond Fast and the Furious if you put springs under your car wheels so you can leap over obstacles, kind of thing.
You make it a little jet boost.
You make a little jet boost, exactly. I think, but it would be. But then people would be like, they've changed it to jet boosters, and the fans are not
But
happy.
if you're a fan of the original, surely this is not good for you.
I would like people to email in and let us know. Actually, of all the ones we've talked about, I would be, because I know people are often,
Well, a lot of people were like, it's boring and dull and I hate it, but
Yeah.
but there were people who were like, I love it.
yeah, right.
So it clearly, it's clearly not without its fans.
I'm never not on LSD, they said, and I love this movie. I also that's a good question as well, because when I watch this, I'm like, is it for people who are on drugs?
I think it would be terrifying.
Maybe, but if you've got a group of like-minded friends all there hanging out,
Nah, man.
you're all under a blankie, you're watching Speed Racer, maybe you're having a great time.
Absolutely not. If I span in a circle once and watch this, I'd vomit. Like there's no...
But that's because you have a lot of gallstones.
That's different. That's my own
Yeah,
problems, yeah. 10
10
seems like a lot of gallstones. I said to him, like, is that a lot? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, what does that mean?
Some people have 50 gallstones. I
Yeah,
guess.
maybe they do.
Anyway, I think there would be a way
A bag of marbles.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
I'm sorry for your marbles. I think that there would be a way to do it, but then I think you'd have to. It's that balancing act, I think, and it's the same thing that we face with superhero movies for a long time. Is how much do you strip out to make it work within the real world,
Yeah.
but it also feels like it is part of that animated version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you superhero movies, do you give them the costumes? Do you give them the wacky, CGI sidekick, or do you just make it a regular guy and give him the name of the alien character from the comic books or whatever? It's kind of...
Yeah.
What do you do there? And in this, they took a chance at least.
But they took everything out.
Yeah.
Like, the only real thing is some sets, some closed sets, and the people. And everything else is just a loop-de-loop track.
Yeah.
And just CGI crowds
When I think, because
yelling.
it's been a few... I think I saw it when it came out on DVD originally.
Yeah.
So all I recall... all the racing scenes appear in my mind. They're just in space. They're just in the blackness of outer
Pretty
space,
much.
and then there's a track in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So what's the
sounds
worst that
right.
can happen? Is he flies off the track, he flies into space. It's fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah,
God will catch him.
Exactly. Just put it in the reel. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll take another stab at this?
Speed Racer?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so
There's
either.
so much else to adapt.
Yeah.
But, Anyway, I think this last one, they'll take another stab at. Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah. See, I'm fascinated because you're a fan of Dragon Ball.
I'm the biggest fan in the world. and I know
Now
everything
there was
about it.
originally Dragon Ball, then there was Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
Then there was Dragon Ball GT.
which isn't canon, sort of.
And then there's a new
some
one.
movies that some count,
And
some don't.
there's one movie in particular.
Yeah, and then there's Dragon
this
Ball
one.
Super.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about there's
Yeah.
there's anime movies.
So I'd never seen this before because it was not in my wheelhouse and I didn't care. So I watched. You were like, you got to watch this.
because they're gonna do a Caravan of Garbage on
Yeah.
it at some point.
It's really interesting, but not in a compelling way. I'm just interested that it got made.
because it's the worst movie ever made.
It's not the worst movie ever made.
It's pretty terrible.
It's pretty terrible. If you didn't know, if they changed some of the names and they if they changed Piccolo from green to blue and changed his name, and you didn't know this was Dragon Ball related,
I'd be like, this is a bad Dragon Ball knockoff, which is what it
okay.
feels like anyway.
It does feel like it anyway. Yeah, I read that the director didn't. So we got. What's interesting about this movie?
Did it make sense to you? Because it borrows a lot of stuff from the original.
I mean, I think it was all fairly self-explanatory, except how this guy got into, like, Goku.
Yeah.
First of all, he's a white guy called Goku.
Yep.
Well,
Well, he's an alien,
well, that's true.
so he can be a white guy, I guess.
I guess, but I mean, like the fact that I think somebody maybe calls him on it and like, why is your name Goku?
Yeah.
It's a little bit weird. I thought there's no explanation as to how, like, at the start of the movie, it just opens on him doing karate with his grandpa
On a string.
on a
in front of
string,
green
on a
screen.
couple of high wires, and there's never any explanation for that. There's no explanation for why he's being bullied in high school, despite being more or less a regular teen.
He's more handsome than most teenagers.
He's more handsome than most
and he's
teenagers.
also clearly 25, as are most people in this movie, 25 to 35.
Also, he's got just the worst hair.
yeah, well,
this
they,
guy,
they sometimes try to do the Goku hair.
Yeah.
And other times they
Justin
don't
Chatwin.
bother. Yeah. It was in War of the Worlds. Also, he's terrible in this.
He's very shiny. I'll give you that.
But he's
shiny. He's got a lot of forehead. I
don't-
thought I had a lot of
I
forehead.
had a
He's
lot
got
of forehead.
so much.
But it feels like they took the wrong takes for some of these cuts.
Yeah, right.
Like his anger is and there's bits where he's just clenching his fist and you see the vein pop in his head.
right. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's apparently they were going to give him a wig, but the director said no, his hair looks a lot like Goku, so we'll just let it doesn't
Perfect.
look like that
It's
at all.
just like him.
Yeah, it's this. It's approaching Speed Racer territory in the sense of like there's some weird stylized stuff that doesn't. There's a moment where he's about to go to a party and so he slicks his hair back
Oh, yeah.
and then it springs up
Yes.
which feels like that's something that would be in a cartoon
Yeah.
and it would work in that situation.
It also doesn't spring up that much.
Yeah, exactly, because it doesn't look anything like Goku's hair.
No.
As somebody who's not a fan of this franchise necessarily,
Yeah.
it doesn't look anything like
No.
It's
None of it really looks like anything.
none of it looks like
I think the
anything.
one redeeming thing from this is casting James Masters
yes.
as Piccolo.
Spike from the Buffy and Angel
I think
shows.
that's good casting.
Yeah.
But everybody else is not. Like Emily Rossum is a good actor.
Emmy Rossum, yes.
Rossum, sorry.
Yes.
Is a good actor.
Chow
She's
Yun
not
Fat.
in this.
I
Chow Yun Fat's
haven't
in
seen
it.
him in something in a
I
while.
love the bit where he's like, ha 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 ha. My grandfather's dead. Did you remember that bit?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's very charming. I don't know what he's like in real life, but
he seems like a fun dude. Do you know, this is the guy who directed The One. Jet
Yeah.
Li's The One.
Yeah,
Which it looks a lot like The One. There's a bit where one of them fights themselves. So I'm like, oh, this is the... Actually, at that point,
that's
I'm like,
right,
is
yes.
this the guy who made The One? Like, it made me
Yeah,
think of what
right.
it is. Yeah.
he's like, guys, you should get me to direct this. What I'm good at is you get one actor and you do a mirror thing. I'm good at the mirror thing, and then it looks like they're fighting themselves.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I'm good at that. I can film that. And they're like, we'll take it.
Jason Statham's in the one.
Yes, he is.
The
Yeah.
movie, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, look. Also, it's a lot of it seems like it's dubbed.
It all feels like it's been dubbed very badly. So and that takes you very much out of the. That's the. Did you ever watch Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li? The entirety of that has been redubbed, and it doesn't. It's the same thing here. It doesn't. A lot of it doesn't work.
It does feel a lot like that movie in general
because what is missing on the day. You know, when you film on the day, there's intonation and there's timing and there's all sorts of stuff. And when you go into a sound booth, I guess you can't quite match what is happening on the screen, and so it's
same year, 2009.
There you go.
I thought they do feel like of the same era. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You can do it, but it's a skill, like any filmmaking skill.
Right.
Yeah, like a lot of films do.
Okay,
it.
things that I did like.
Okay.
There's a scene right at the start. He goes to the party. Goku goes to the party, and he goes to. It doesn't matter. I think he goes to. He goes to the party.
Yep.
And these guys want to gang up on him and beat him up, and he promises
some 30-year-olds.
These 30-year-old men want to beat him up, and but he promised his grandpa he won't fight, so he lets them all beat themselves up. I thought that was quite creative
not a bad.
for a children's film.
Yeah.
I was like, that's quite fun. And if the lesson was. If you're going to do what like a lot of these movies do, which is teach children that fighting isn't the answer, then tell them at the end that actually fighting is the answer.
Yes.
That's a good way to go about it.
Okay, yeah, because fighting was the answer.
Fighting was absolutely the answer.
What was the other bit that you liked? The Dragon Ball looks quite good.
Does it?
Yeah, the effect is fine.
Now, were you, when this movie came, did you see it at the cinemas?
I saw it in Tanzania on a bootleg disc.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say,
then I watched it again this week.
Yeah. Well, what do you feel like the fan reaction to this was?
Everyone hated it. Nobody likes this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like you're the first person who hasn't said this is the worst thing I've ever seen.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
And I don't know whether that is. I just think it's a bad movie outside of the source material because I don't care whether they adapt a good version of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't give a shit. But this is. It's just hard because I think also in a lot of ways it's kind of hard to adapt, and also people get weird about casting, and whitewashing or whatever, as they should. And I just don't know if we ever need to see it. Some things maybe don't need to be translated, and I don't know whether it's possible to do a Western version of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or I think the first thing that they should have done is hair tests.
Yeah. The hair is really the.
I think it would have
sticking
gone a long.
point.
Honestly, it would have gone a long way if they'd somehow managed to. If anybody is thinking about making a Dragon Ball movie, the number one thing, it's even beyond. Like, you can get guys who are good at martial arts.
Yeah.
You can get guys that are good at acting.
You don't even need to.
You can get. That's true. You can fix it with editing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the key is to make the hairstyle look reminiscent of the cartoon series, but
not too big.
But also works on an actual live action human.
I've seen some good fan art.
Uh-huh.
of it, but that's different than a person walking around with that.
Exactly. It's got to move.
It's got to move and flow.
It's got to move and flow.
Yeah, look, I think because the recent Dragon Ball movie that was released and that was received very well and made a lot of money for the 4 minutes that it was out, someone's going to take a run at this soon.
Yeah, for sure.
And look, it probably is possible. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just can't be worse than this. Can it? Because people didn't think Legend of Chun-Li.
I like the bit where he turned into a monkey.
Did you expect that?
No. Well, I mean, that's the thing, because I'm sort of aware, because if I remember correctly, this was sort of based on the Journey to the West, so it's based on the Legend of Monkey.
Okay, right.
Which is why Goku originally has a tail, I think.
Yeah, he does.
And then they got rid of the tail.
Well, they get rid of the tail because if you cut the tail off, he's not a monkey anymore.
Okay, right.
They didn't do that. Because Goku doesn't have a tail in
So I
this
was sort of
version.
aware that he was based on Monkey. Which
Yeah,
I had,
I guess
I've seen a monkey.
I'm the biggest fan in the world. But
So I
didn't
never
know
thought,
that.
but I never thought he'd change into monkey.
But he
into
did.
a monkey.
What do you think of that monkey effect?
Could have been worse, I guess.
What do you think of that dragon at the end?
Not good.
Not good at all. That dragon is supposed to be like terrifying and like 100 feet
Yeah,
tall. And
right.
it stands in front of you and asks you questions like, "What's up? You want a wish? I'm a fucking dragon." There's
Right.
none of that. It's just kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll see you later. I'm a dragon.
So the idea is you have to collect. There's 7 Dragon Balls.
Yep.
You have to collect all the Dragon Balls. Once you collect all the Dragon Balls, the dragon gives you a wish.
Yep.
And it can be anything in the world, in
Yep.
the universe, anything at all.
I think it's got limits, but I think if you've been wished back from the dead once, you can't do it again or something. I can't remember. There's limits on it.
If the original cartoons, when are they set? Are they set now? Are they set in the
Nah,
past?
it's kind of a weird future-ish.
Right.
Because there's flying stuff and whatever.
Are the Dragon Balls scattered on Earth or throughout the whole universe?
I think it depends.
Okay,
I
right.
think they're mostly on Earth. As far as
Okay,
I know.
right.
Look,
'Cause it
despite
seems-
being the biggest fan, I don't think I haven't seen every single episode ever or movie.
That's okay.
And I haven't seen any of Dragon Ball Super,
Okay,
the new
right.
one either.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like if the Dragon Balls are scattered all over the universe,
You're never gonna.
well, I mean that would be a more epic task
Yes.
than if they're scattered on Earth and you've got a device that can detect them all, and you just wander around and collect them all again, and they'd be like, "Hey, can you bring this guy back from the dead as well?
And they're also.
Hey, can I have $1 billion? Hey, can I have 1,000,000 more wishes? I got you, you dumbass dragon."
And also, it's weird because in the movie they have the Dragon Ball detector.
Yes,
But they just seem to accidentally find them anyway a lot of the time. They're like, oh, they're in this house that we're in.
yeah. Right? Hey,
Anyway.
I'm in this.
We'll do a caravan of garbage on it.
Please.
Yeah. I think that's it, though. Anything else? Anyway, they're all bad. All these are bad.
Wait, I googled Dragon Ball Evolution. Top voted tags for Dragon Ball Evolution: cringeworthy,
Yep.
bad acting, boring, awkward, corny, depressing, mindless. Plus 3 more. What are they? Who
Plus
knows?
3 more.
I can't click because it's a screenshot.
Great.
Yeah.
Anyway, are any of these good? Are we wrong?
No, Dragon Ball's good, isn't it?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's good.
People have a least
You
favorite
liked it.
or most favorite.
Or if there's another one.
Also, Dragon Ball's boring. Also, I probably shouldn't have put Oldboy on here because it's a manga, it's not an anime. But, you know, they're the same, aren't they?
Uh-oh.
That's why I included it.
Uh-oh.
No, both of us think that.
No, we don't.
Okay.
No.
Only Mason thinks
The
it.
confusion, though, because when anime kicked over in Australia, the distributor was called Manga Video, which I think confused a lot of people.
That's right. And you're still confused to this day. I'm not confused.
Yes.
Yes, very good. I just feel like people are going to mention that. But now you still can. You
still
mate.
can.
Don't worry about it.
You probably haven't listened this far. You probably sent the email already, which
That's
I
okay.
respect.
Do you like? I love it when people send a message and like, "Hey, what about this?" And then they're like 2 minutes later, like, "Oh, you mentioned it." I enjoy that. Okay, Mason, you know what it's time for?
Oh, what we reading?
What are we gonna read?
What we gonna read? Yeah.
I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today?
What are you reading?
I watched Overlord.
Did you? Is it good?
Yes,
What's good about it?
it's kind of like The Thing, sort of. You know, Kurt Russell's The Thing.
Yes,
But
I
now
remember.
it's
I know Kurt Russell's the
Wyatt
thing.
Russell's The Thing. His son is the lead in it,
Is he?
or one of the
Okay.
leads.
Interesting.
Yeah, it starts with you think it's just going to be it's one of those things where don't look at the poster and
Don't listen to your friend James explain it to
Yes.
you in any way.
and
La 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 la. Continue. La 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 la.
we're both doing it.
Yeah.
So I guess minor spoilers, but everyone.
No, don't spoil it for
no,
me
no,
then.
no. I mean, just mean like it's supernatural.
Oh.
You've seen the poster, right? It's like
Yes.
a man with his face half missing or
Oh.
whatever. Yeah, so and I guess it's kind of like The Thing in that way, where it starts as one thing and then it becomes a different The Thing.
Oh.
You know, so I enjoy a premise like that, and I kind of wish I didn't know that going in, but it was still a thoroughly enjoyable ride. Good special effects and gore and such. It's a lower budget kind of action sci-fi horror movie,
Yeah.
but it's very good.
It's a Blumhouse, right? Is it a Blumhouse?
I don't know.
You don't have
Might
to
be a
look that up.
bum house. Got
Very nice.
what have you been watching?
Well, because I watched Dragon Ball Evolution and I was so keen
God.
on going back to the Dragon Ball Evolutioniverse.
Yes.
That's actually not true. But Emmy Rossum is in that. So I started watching Shameless, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
the TV series with her and William H. Macy. And it turns out Jason Chatwin, who's Goku, is also in Shameless. I'd forgotten.
So they're good friends.
They're good friends,
That's
I guess.
still going?
No,
Shameless?
I think it finished a couple of years ago.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it's sort of it's William H Macy. He's kind of a deadbeat dad, and then the well, he's in. It's not.
Oh, it's that one.
yeah, he's an
Okay,
alcoholic,
yeah.
and the family
No,
will
it's
have
Bad
to.
Robot. Sorry.
Okay, and then the family have to all sort of all the kids all have to pick up the slack and be grown ups. It's good. It's based on the British series,
Okay.
which is also good.
Which is better?
The British series.
Okay.
Or is it? But I don't know. It always, anytime I watch, there'll be an American adaptation of a British thing.
Yeah.
It's always shinier and cleaner and nicer kind of
Yes.
thing. It's very rarely the opposite way around. So I think maybe some of the edge comes off it just because and it's also
They got better cameras.
yeah, they got better
And it's
cameras.
less foggy.
And also yes, exactly. A British series is not afraid to cast people who are not Hollywood handsome at all times, and I think that works better if you're like, okay, well, it's a family and they're not doing so well, and they're they're regular people.
Yeah.
You can make them look like regular people.
Yes.
Whereas they have to go, okay, well, let's put Emmy Rossum in this.
Justin Chatwin and Emily Rossum, brother and sister in that?
In Shameless, no.
Yeah, okay.
No, he meets her in a nightclub and then he spends like 2 or 3 seasons attempting to date her.
And he does.
Briefly.
Great.
Yeah, I know, right?
There you go.
Anyway, yeah. Good times, huh?
If you wear a girl down enough, she'll briefly date you.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a good message.
Lesson
in that.
learned, huh?
Good message.
Pretty great.
Anything else?
I think that's all. I should have gotten to Overlord and I didn't.
No,
I
you
feel
still can.
bad about. No, I
It's
won't.
available. You can.
I
download
will.
it.
I'll do it
you can
tomorrow,
rent
probably.
It, so
Nice.
yeah, it's well worth it. Letters, Mason.
Let's
Give
do
us
some letters. Talk about letters.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a day away. I know they're here right now. We're gonna do letters.
You're so into that, Mason.
I knew it. Throwing up the horns.
Throwing up the bloody horns. Look, if you want to throw the horn this way, you can.
Don't say it like that.
You can hashtag weeklyplanetpod on Twitter or send a Gmail over to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com. Or as this week Mason has done, he's pulled something from the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group.
I absolutely have on Facebook. If you join up, if you like, there's so many members.
It's free.
It's free.
But
what if it weren't free? We'd be rich.
Well, we're thinking of that.
What?
No. It's a Facebook group.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah.
This is from Hugo Buckley. Do you feel there are any directors who have made films that are both 10 out of 10 and 1 out of 10? Like they've made
Yes.
2 movies, one of which is incredible and one of which is the worst. He'd have to say Tim Burton and M. Night Shyamalan.
I don't think any of M. Night Shyamalan... I haven't seen all of them, but I don't think I've seen a 1 out of him.
You've never seen... Have you seen a 10, though? You think...
Yeah, I think not Unbreakable. I think
The Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense is a 10.
Okay, right.
Yeah. Oh, what's up there? If it's not a 10, it's
Yeah, right.
It's a 9.2,
Uh-huh. Yep.
which is
Okay.
pretty good. The Wachowskis.
Well, they've made The
is a
Matrix,
10,
obviously,
and
and
everything else is a
is a-
4 or below.
Right. Which we discussed earlier, and I
Yeah.
feel like, again, for anybody who doesn't know, there's a scene in the first Matrix which is line for line, verbatim a scene from a DC Vertigo series called The Invisibles by Grant Morrison.
yeah.
And which makes me wonder if the first movie isn't just a pastiche of other things they read
Yeah.
or saw that they've put together and we just don't know what they are, or like the people that
I'm sure somebody's pieced it together.
somebody might have, but that just don't have the means to sue multi-billion-dollar corporation
Yes.
Warner Brothers, and so they just haven't brought it up. Which would, and I'm not
They
saying
should
that
have sued them after Justice League when they were weak.
exactly right.
Because now they've got Aquaman, so...
Yeah, it's
they're
too late.
struggling.
There was the window and it closed. But maybe after the trench.
It's like wearing a girl down when you want to
that's right.
date her.
But I mean, I'm not saying that definitely did happen. I'm just not ruling it out.
Yeah.
But it does explain why everything else they've made since then has been worse, and why especially the second 2 Matrix movies are just this hodgepodge of terrible dialogue and nonsense,
Non-connected action sequences.
Yeah, because they were
And then
like,
there's mechs.
yeah,
Yeah, it
exactly.
feels like the Matrix sequels were made by somebody who didn't understand the first Matrix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
The Animatrix, though, there's some pretty good stuff in there. Yeah.
So on the thread, Ethan
Okay.
Harrison said David Fincher. If you count Alien 3, even though he basically didn't
I don't
direct
think
it.
that's a 1.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's not a 1. I think
okay.
it's like a 5.
Look, we don't have to say. Look, who's directed both good and bad things?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's I guess
pretty much every director.
Well, that's true, but I mean, it's interesting. Like there are some people has Spielberg produced a 1?
Probably
Directed
not.
a 1? I mean, we
think
know
so.
somebody directed the 1.
Yes.
And then he went and directed
Dragon Ball
Evolution. So that's
Yeah.
a 1 and a 10.
That's true.
Ethan went on to say, also Danny Boyle made The Beach, which is atrocious, and Sunshine, which we all know is the greatest film ever made.
That's a good point, but I actually don't mind The Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Danny Boyle one about hypnosis isn't that good with James McAvoy.
Oh, what's that called again?
Hypnosis Man.
I don't think it's called that.
He's got your secrets in his mind.
Oh, yeah, actually, you're right.
I don't remember what it's called, but
Okay.
I really like it.
All right.
Yeah. What else is there on that thread?
let's
What
find
else
out.
have people got?
Oh, it's bloody fun.
It's interesting. Do you think it's often the case of a director will make a 10 and then never make a movie that good?
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be, they say with musicians, difficult second album syndrome,
Yeah.
where all the good ideas went into the first one.
But then you look at like Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
Which is maybe not George Miller's best movie. It might be George Miller's best movie, actually.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But also, he had literally decades to
Yes.
to revisit that universe. So
There was news this week, actually, that might be coming back. They might be making a sequel. But everyone's suing each other over that or whatever at
Yeah,
the moment,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I don't know. What else is in the thread, Mason?
it's fine. Let's bloody find out.
How come you haven't opened it up immediately?
I
when
forgot
mentioned
things.
That, you dumbass.
Okay, let's see. Actually, Robert Tribick has said Steven Spielberg. You get Schindler's List and other stuff that he's done.
Sure.
And Indiana Jones 4.
Was that a 1?
What would you call it? And I don't necessarily mean in a vacuum. I mean as compared to Indiana Jones's 1 through 3. It's pretty bad.
It's pretty
right?
bad, but I think the first 15 minutes are pretty okay. It's a good.
So that bumps it up to what?
To at least a 2 or 3.
At least a 2.
I think it's probably a 4.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. Tobias has said, Bryan Singer, bad bloke, Bryan Singer.
Terrible bloke.
The Usual Suspects, X-Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
No,
it's more boring than. Would you
But
just
that
give it
count.
a 1?
No, I'd give it a 1 because it's on the back of a series that is just bleeding out, and
Yeah.
instead of doing anything to revitalize it, they brought the same guy in to do the same stuff.
Yes.
And it's just dreary and nonsensical.
And there's a man who can cut heads off with sand.
But he doesn't, and then it's just metal flying around for the last 20 minutes.
What-
Now, that movie's a 1.
Do you also think Superman Returns is a 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's so sad and dreary.
What about Valkyrie?
That's a 4.
Okay. What about Jack the Giant Slayer? That is not good.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. What else we got? Who else? is on there?
Justin said Kevin Smith made Clerks and Cop Out. To me, Clerks is not a 10, but I see where
I
he's
like
going
Clerks.
with that. Cop Out is definitely a 1.
Yeah. But you don't think Clerks is a 10?
No.
Considering how they made that,
Yeah.
it's pretty spectacular.
That's
Yeah.
true. Kev Marlowe suggested Joel Schumacher, Batman and Robin, and Tigerland.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin's not a 1 though.
I don't think it's.
I don't think it's a 1. I think in the context of let's make a movie that is less nightmarish than Batman Returns and is more Batman-y, and I think they
Yeah.
went, okay, well, let's make it like the 60s. Let's make it campy and stupid.
Yeah.
I think at the time I was upset by it, but I think in retrospect I'm like, well, this is absolutely an acceptable version of the Batman mythos to
Yeah,
make
right.
it so stupid
Yeah.
and Technicolor.
And now they're not good anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those things. Yeah.
You're upset they
Uh-huh.
weren't good anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any others, or should I read the next thing?
I'm trouble. Like, let me think of one off the top of my actual head.
Okay.
How's that sound?
I love the sound of that. What about John Carpenter? He's done like The Thing.
he did The Thing.
But has he done like Ghosts from Mars or Ghosts of Mars?
Oh yeah,
or
right.
whatever?
Oh, what about Peter Jackson?
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and even that within the same universe.
Same universe, yeah.
He did. And look, I probably wouldn't call them a 10, but the Lord of the Rings movies are technically amazing, and it's astounding that they exist.
Yes.
And then he made. Well, I haven't seen all the Hobbit movies, but I've seen the third one, which is.
But you didn't hate that. You were like, that was okay.
Yeah, but it's not good though, is it?
It's a great movie.
I don't think I
right.
did like it. Did
Okay.
I like it?
I remember you thought it was okay, and you were like, it was okay to revisit this world or whatever.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. But clearly you don't
Not
remember
anymore.
anything about
I
it.
don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, no, I don't like those movies.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those movies are... I guess they are... I don't know if they're a 1, but they're a chore.
Yeah, right.
God, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of minutes in those movies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, so looking at...
Oh, Shane Black.
You reckon Iron Man 3? Oh, Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
And
good one.
anything, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep.
That's probably
The
not a
other
10, but that's
guys,
enjoyable.
yeah.
Again, that's a guy who can. If it's just guys doing dialogue
Yeah.
and roughhousing, Lethal Weapon movies.
Eh.
Yeah, I know, still. But I mean, if it's just guys having a rough house,
Yeah.
and having witty banter, the nice guys, they're good movies. But introduce anything sci-fi, and he's just
He doesn't understand
doesn't know what
lasers.
he's going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking up examples here, and people are giving like Hook and things. I think Hook's okay.
What's the
Ridley Scott's been done some 10s and 1s.
Yeah, I agree.
Robin Hood is atrocious.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is it more a case of, though, a director will have, like, they'll produce all good movies and then they'll do a real stinker, and then we know them best for that? You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Or is
Yeah.
it-
Sometimes it gets forgotten. I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
trying to think of
right.
like what's a bad Scorsese film? Did he do Hugo? I didn't like Hugo. I know it's about the birth of cinema, etc.
Yeah,
I
right.
did not like it.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, he did The Godfather 3, which
That's
I
true.
haven't seen. But people consider that bad as a film. But it's your favourite film, isn't it?
No.
Oh, okay. That'll do it?
I think so. That'll do it.
Next quote. We should move it along.
Okay.
Next up, we've got from Lucas a tweet, #WeeklyPlanetPod. We know that Thomas Wayne will have a big part in the new Joker movie. Does that mean that in the universe, the Joker is almost 40 years older than Bruce Wayne? Or do you see another way this could turn out? I don't know if there is a Bruce Wayne in this universe yet. Also, Jack Nicholson is 40 years older than Michael. He's probably 10.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or maybe 20.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to care about... Like, I don't think they've thought ahead enough in this universe. I think...
You don't think it's... Yeah, it's not going. We're not going to get 3 movies in and then Batman shows up.
No, I absolutely not. And I also think that there might have been a editorial edict, don't put Batman in this, but you have to introduce some Batman-ish elements. And so they went, okay, well, Thomas Wayne is, that's as far away as you can get it kind of thing.
Wayne Tower.
Wayne Tower's in this.
A clock also, just a clock tower.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you reckon there'll be a bit where Thomas Wayne's like, man, I got a big cave under my house. I don't do anything with it though.
Fill it with tennis balls. Every day I go down there and I empty one of those tins of tennis balls. I just pour it in there. It's going to take me forever, but I'm rich and I can.
I'm rich and I'm going to live forever.
That's right. I'm just eccentric, okay?
Yeah. No, I don't think it's... I mean, maybe they'll be like, look.
And then in the Joker 3, Bruce Wayne is there. He's teary over the death of his parents, and he's just got a big broom and he's shoving tennis balls out.
He's got one of those tennis ball nets. And he's like a pool scooper.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, look, maybe they'll be like... Well, also, Bruce Wayne, we don't know yet. Maybe Bruce Wayne is 12 in these movies.
Yeah.
We don't know, because Alec Baldwin was originally supposed to be his father, and so he could easily have like a 15-year-old son or whatever.
That's true, yeah.
So we don't know yet at this point, yeah. This is a question for you specifically from Tom Benjamin. At Wikipedia Brown, it's you. Have you given up on your dream of being the "Hey, I'm walking here" guy? You given up on that dream, Mason?
I think I could still do it.
Hey, asshole!
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I could be that guy if...
Maybe you need to be that guy in real life first.
Oh, and then I'm in a viral video.
Yeah.
Where I'm shouting profanities. on
then you get
Twitter or whatever, then you get hired based on that.
Yeah.
It's the hey arsehole guy. Now he's in Avengers Endgame.
Now he's got a bloody auto-tune song on
Yes.
YouTube. Yeah.
Look, I think the key is if you want it, you have to go and get it.
That's true.
And thus far, I've not attempted to go and get it.
You've had a few offers of like to be in like some comics and things, haven't you? You've had some but you haven't had any big movie deals yet.
No, nothing as of yet.
Interesting.
It's interesting.
Is it a dead trope though? Do you think that's the case? I mean, that's not why you haven't been contacted.
No.
Because it's a dead trope.
No.
But do you think it's a dead...
I think I've been blacklisted by Hollywood.
For being too real?
Is it a dead trope? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I
haven't seen it in a while.
I haven't seen it in a while either.
Yeah.
So maybe it's ripe for the return.
The last one I remember it from is Terminator 3, where he goes, "Hey, asshole," or whatever.
Yeah.
John Connor hits the car or whatever. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, look, I think I'm going to have to get out there. I'm going to have to tweet at some famous directors and ask them.
Please do. Who would you hit up first? Christopher Nolan.
Who's
obviously.
Approachable is the question, I think.
None of them. They're all auteurs, Mason.
Yeah, they are all auteurs, aren't they?
Yeah.
Edgar Wright, I guess I could tweet at him.
Met him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you harass him
Yeah, I'll harass him.
endlessly.
I will.
I met Lee Winnell. He's a friend of mine.
No, I get it.
could ask him for you.
If you could, thank you. Yeah. Ask him in private. Just text him.
Okay. I will. I definitely have his number. So
Okay,
I'll
great.
do that. Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Great. That's the show, though.
Yes.
A bit of a longer one. I hope people think that's okay.
Felt like a bit of a shorter one to me.
Well, Mason, it's always a chore for me. Go on.
Thanks everybody for listening, even if it's a longer one. A lot of people love a longer one.
They do love the longer ones.
We don't know how long people's commutes are.
We have no idea.
Sometimes people's commutes might be 2.5 hours a day.
Some people
know what this economy's
we
like.
need to do another half hour then. Sometimes people will start, in the morning and then in the afternoon and they'll finish the next day or whatever.
Some people tweet us and they say, I listen every day.
How was that possible?
God, I love it.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
It
I'll do
is.
that. I'll do that to some podcasts.
Yeah,
I'll
me
listen
too.
every day.
Anyway, you were saying something
I was saying something. Thank you for
Yes.
listening, telling your friends,
Tell your friends.
subscribing, give
That's
us a
really
nice
great.
review.
Yeah.
Send us a tweet. We love a tweet. I'm at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
Oh, this is Andrew.
We've got the aforementioned Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group
Yes.
on Twitter. You can also go to, not on Twitter, on Facebook.
Yes.
You can also go to planetbroadcasting.com. You can sign up to our newsletter. The website's got all the shows, Planet Broadcasting shows on,
That's right.
including a new show. Our friend Alistair Tremblay-Birchall from Two of the Think Tank
yeah.
has a new podcast called Shusha, Guided Meditations.
Yes.
and it's just him lulling you to sleep with an assortment of nonsense,
But
which I enjoy very much.
It's very funny and also very relaxing.
People are being soothed by it. Al used to have something. I believe some of it's on YouTube, and he did it as a live show as well. And it was called Alistair Tremblay Birchall Lists Everything, and he would go on stage and simply list things just off the top of his head, and he would never repeat himself.
And it wasn't planned.
No, and it was just all things.
Amazing.
It was very good.
God,
so I think some of that's on YouTube if you want to track it down. But I feel this is very much in the same vein.
Yeah.
It's,
actually, I haven't spoken to him about it yet. Does he plan it out? Does he write it?
I don't know either. I got to find out.
It feels written. Not like in a forced way, but there's ideas in it.
There is ideas.
But then again, he's
an ideas man in the moment.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll put that below. It's called Shusha.
Shusha, yeah. Also Nick Meso on Instagram. Your Mr. Sunday Movies on everything.
Yes, on everything you know and love.
You can also follow The Weekly Planet on Twitter. That's our friend Rob Collings. He does the newsletter as well. What is that?
It's my face.
Okay.
It's just my regular face, mate.
You're just making a regular face. Yeah. That's disturbing.
Do you like it?
Stop making your weird face.
It's my regular face.
No.
Every other face I do is me pulling a face.
Okay, wow.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. You look handsome. Let's see, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies if you want to chuck in $1.
Helps a lot.
You were saying we're breaking ground on the studio. We're doing some more stuff in there. They're coming in earlier.
The big bill. I got to move a whole lot of shit out there. I got a whole lot of weights.
You got to move your bicycle.
Oh, that bike.
And that's all right because you can't lift those weights. That's why they're in there. You physically can't lift them. You're gonna have to get a big man in to move your weights.
I'm thinking about do I sell them? I don't want to sell them because then I have to
buy them again.
People on I've sold stuff on Gumtree before, and it's just endless questions from idiots.
Yeah.
Is it enough? What if I bring it? It's annoying.
It's a lot of people going, "You've lifted this for $50. Would you sell it for $4?"
Oh God,
no.
Yeah. Mostly, if I put something on there, I just want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So I think I might just leave them out the front.
Yeah.
Or throw them at a bus.
If you'd like to also support the show, you can go to the Amazon affiliate link in our episode description.
Yes.
Click through there if you're going to buy something on Amazon, maybe the anime to Western live action box set.
Yeah.
It's in the shape of Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star's head. Oh no, it's in the shape of it's in the shape of Goku's head.
Okay.
And each tab on his head opens a different disc. Yeah.
Great.
That's pretty great, right?
Why can't it be Sean Penn's brother's head and you have to unwind the tape?
Oh, that's right. And then they burst out in the living room, all the discs. That'd be great. Well, you can just buy what you're going to buy on Amazon anyway. We get a kickback. I was also going to say you can follow us on the Weekly Planet Pod at Facebook and Gmail and Twitter and Bandcamp.
Yep.
We've got some t-shirts on tpublic.com.
We certainly do. We'll never stop.
Thank you to the Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes.
Yes.
We still have the USB tape Best of the Weekly Planet. That's still on sale.
Yes.
They're going like hot cakes, the hottest of cakes.
Yeah.
In a cold environment.
We have
hot cakes on a hot day.
We have a new clothing sponsor next week.
Oh, we do? That's right.
One of our previous sponsors, Mac Weldon, they've gone radio silent on us.
That's right. It's interesting.
Because they switch, like the person who's in charge of this happens every now and then, they'll switch the account to a different person or whatever, and then you just, they're dead.
They don't talk to you
anymore.
They don't talk to you anymore. We still stand by our bloody endorsement of them.
They've been a great sponsor over the years, and they've helped this show a lot. But just so people don't freak out if we have a different... No, I mean, sometimes when we change sponsors or whatever, people are like, what about this previous thing?
They email in, should I burn all my shirts? Yes, you should. They're dead to us.
Yeah, but this new clothing company is also very good.
Very cool.
So, yeah. I don't know if that's next week or week after. Why do people don't care about sponsors? Why am I even bringing this up?
Next week we're going to be talking about Battle Angel Alita, right?
Oh, no, maybe.
What if it's good, though? We don't know yet. If it's good, I'll be happy. If it's awful, I'll also be happy. And the listeners will be happy because people love it when we rag on something that's bad. But if it's fine, I'm going to be very sad.
Yes, I agree with you on that. Well, I feel like that's what it's going to be.
Oh, no.
All right,
great stuff.
That's everything, isn't it?
That is everything.
Everyone have a wonderful week.
Is that your new sign-off? It's very positive.
Yeah. Well,
it's out of character for you.
Oh, I don't like it either, now that you've said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you prefer me to say? Hey, everybody, just get through if you can.
Hey, everybody, go sit in a wet fart. That seems like you. Like
I've never told anybody to sit in a wet fart.
But you always think it, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Good.
That's what I thought.
All right, guys.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Sit in a wet fart.
See, it works, doesn't it?
It's perfect.
It is perfect.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.